Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so type the laces. Hard sports all plays. Network. Hard sports all plays. Network. We on top of our game. Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays.
Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us, from all of us here at the ASAP Network.
Well, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the All Sports All Plays Network. This is another episode of ASAP Talk. What's going on with it, gentlemen?
What's going on?
What's going on?
What's happening?
Man, we got Chris Brown. He's in another room today. Look like, I'm not.
I'm in the same room.
Okay, I just don't see the 76ers, get up and all that.
Don't worry about it. It's around. My team beat you, so stop talking about all this, that, and the third. Stop it.
Then we got
I keep Sixers gear around. Don't worry, I got a Sixers cup here just cause.
Hey, what did he say last week, Chris? What did he say?
He said some dumb stuff almost this year. Like, come on, be quiet. You just upset because my team beat you and you didn't win bet.
AD about to take a seat for 3 weeks now.
Come on now. Stop it.
And I bet, then we got our boy Jay Ness on the show. What's up?
Go ahead and move on.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, man? Ready to have another good one. You know we got to get on you, man, especially after the last one. We fresh off of it. You just said the AD stuff.
Hey, it's all good. That's a benefit to the Lakers, by the way. You didn't know that or not. That's a benefit to the Lakers. It's all good. It's all love. Then
That's a great spin.
Then we got Ray. What's up with it, Ray? Welcome back.
Welcome back. Yeah, man. Ready to go. Ready to get this battle going on. Talk about these hot topics we got going on and talk about the AD. He's going down for 3 weeks, though.
It's not good. Wish him all the best luck, though. Honestly.
Sure.
Don't want to play with that Achilles.
All right. Then we got Kenny joining the show. What's going on, Kenny? How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. Appreciate y'all having me on.
All right, cool. Well, let's get right into it, gentlemen. You guys know how we do it, real talk. You guys know I always have Chris Brown running for the one and only.
Freddie, why are you? Everybody knows I don't run. You just say that for yourself. Everybody on Real Talk knows I doesn't run. Everybody, first of all, everybody in Real Talk and everybody on the network and all the viewers, they know I don't run from you. You say it for yourself, for your mental psyche. Like when you say that, nobody believes you. The only reason I speak on it because you're not going to talk about my name. Because if you look at everybody on here, you lost to me and Jay in debates.
Run, man.
Jay, am I wrong? He lost to both. How can I run if you lost to both of us in debates?
This is why I don't even say nothing to him.
I'm about to stop and let him feed it to himself.
All right, gentlemen. You guys know how we start the show.
As long as it makes him smile, man.
Normally we start the show with the NFL hot take, but we're gonna hit it up with the MLB hot take. Yo, Ray, give us a hot take.
I'm going first.
Oh, Chris, give us the hot take for the MLB.
One liner. My Phillies gonna make the playoffs this year. Drop the mic. That's my hot take. My Phillies gonna get it together. They're gonna get it together. They're going to make the playoffs this year. I don't know how. Something has to change. Because honestly, I'm looking at this franchise and what they're doing. I had Freddie. Oh, That's true. Anyway, I'm looking at this franchise and what they're doing. I mean, bad signings, good signings, terrible management. They're going to have to overcome it because I'm tired of seeing my baseball team being trash. So my hot take is that they get it together this year. The people that we sign are going to pan out, and we're going to be able to squeeze into the playoffs. Not saying we winning anything. We're just going to make the playoffs. You got to start off small.
All right. Well, we heard Chris said his Phillies going to make the playoffs this year. Yo, Ray, give us a hot take for the MLB.
My Atlanta Braves going to the World Series this time. To forget going to the LA, going to the the championship game. We're going to the World Series this time. I think they got the pitching just right. Came back with the pitching, got the hitting back. Re-signed one of the best hitters. Signed Chipper Jones as a hitting consultant, but also he could be a mentor to Alex Riley, the third baseman, who needs to be better at defense.
Okay, cool. Jay, do you have a hot take for the MLB?
I'm gonna jump on his wagon a bit, and I say the Braves and the Dodgers do meet again in NLS, but I believe the Dodgers repeat. Them signing Bauer is really big, man. They didn't really need a lot of help down there. I mean, they could have used it a little bump, but to get Bauer, they didn't get a little bump. They got a huge lump. So I think that they're gonna repeat, man.
All right, cool. Yo, Kenny, were you able to get a hot take for the MLB or no?
Oh, I got an easy one. The Yankee dynasty will return to its rightful throne, and we'll be back on the throne as World Series champions.
Long way back. There you go. All right, gentlemen, we got the hot take out wait for the MLB. We have some viewers on. I waited, to let some people come on. Hey, Chris, tell the folks out there how they get win a free T-shirt.
Yes, for everybody watching ASAP Network, what I want you to do is like the video, share the video, like the page, share the page. At the end of the month, we tally everything up, and the person that does it the most, we crown that person the viewer of the month, and that viewer of the month gets their very own ASAP Network T-shirt.
Now tell them how maybe they don't want to watch. Maybe they're can't watch it live. Maybe until in the morning. How can they still want a T-shirt? Tell them how they can get a T-shirt.
Yeah, so if you're rewatching, if you're watching us, after we go live, you're listening to the audio version, you can still purchase the T-shirt. Shirts are $14.99 plus shipping and handling. You can message one of the admins, or if you know an analyst personally, you can message them and they'll get the word back to us. Again, shirts are $14.99 plus shipping and handling. We're going to get it to you ASAP.
All right, gentlemen, let's continue with the show. We'll do NFL hot takes. We'll start with Jay on this one. Jay, give us a hot take for the NFL.
I think this is the year. I hate to start off talking about my team, but I love it at the same time. I think this is the year we win the NFC West. The Cardinals, that is. We got turmoil in Seattle. I think the Rams messed up themselves. Even if Matthew and them do jail, it's going to take a season. I think that San Francisco, they got questions right now too. We're trying to improve. We're trying to add to, and we had a lot of losses last year with season-ending injuries. Our number 2 corner, Alfred, was injured right off the back. Chandler Jones right off the back. So I see Arizona winning the NFC West.
Okay. Yo, Ray, give us a hot take for the NFL.
My hot take is the latest search for Trevor Lawrence is now going to be happening here soon. It's going to be a 5 to 6 month recovery time on this. They moved up the Clemson date on the request of the Jaguars head coach Urban Myers from March 11th up to last Friday. Get that in on that. So that's what working on. That took a big hit for the Jaguars. But now the Jaguars might be entering the Deshaun Watson with sweepstakes here, trying to trade the number 1 draft pick on Deshaun Watson and a second round draft pick in the next year's draft.
That'd be fire. Man, that'd be fire. That actually happened. That's crazy. Kenny, give us a hot take for the NFL.
I'm going to piggyback on Ray. If Urban Meyer can't fix the Jaguars, they're moving to London. I figure that if Urban Meyer, if he can't get that franchise right, then
I like
Shad
that.
Khan is just gonna just cut bait and just go overseas.
I like that.
Yeah, that's my hot take.
Okay, cool. Yo, Chris, give us a hot take, my brother.
Hot take. Well, I've been contemplating this for a while, and I came to the realization that, everybody's saying you don't trade away too much for Deshaun Watson. You don't trade away too much for Deshaun Watson. My hot take is that Deshaun Watson is the second best quarterback in the game right now, and he's creeping towards number one. What he was able to do last year, they went 4-12, but they had 8 losses by 8 points or less. I mean, he had a top 6 worst defense, bottom 6 defense, bottom 3 running game, and what he was able to do, passing the ball was spectacular. For me, you trade away the house. People saying that the Rams traded away too much for Matthew Stafford. To me, you don't trade away too much to get your franchise type of guy. Golf wasn't it. You got your guy, and now you go win. When I look at Deshaun Watson and what he's able to do, he can throw like Mahomes or run like Lamar Jackson. This dude is the complete package, and I think once he's in a winning, situation, he's going to make a case for being the best quarterback in the game. So, my hot take right now, Deshaun Watson is number 2. Sorry, Rodgers, over you. Sorry, Wilson, over you. Sorry, Lamar Jackson, over you. He's just right behind Patrick Mahomes.
Man, that's actually not a bad pick, honestly. I'm gonna give my hot take. Jay came on here. Man, you gave me the huge screen. Jay came on here and said that his Arizona Cardinals is going to win the West this year. I think it's going to be the Rams. I think the Rams is going to make some additions. I think when they traded Goff and the picks for Matthew Stafford, they said they're trying to win now. I do not believe that they're done on this team of adding additions to this team, and I will tell you why in the upcoming topics of the show. But I believe the Rams will they will compete for a Super Bowl this year, and they will be a lot better than the Arizona Cardinals this upcoming season.
A lot better?
A lot better. Not just a little, a lot better.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen. Let's keep the show moving. The next topic for the evening is what team is the best fit for J.J. Watt? Let's start this one off with Kenny. Kenny, what team should be going after J.J. Watt?
Oh man, LA. You put him with Aaron Donald, and God help you as a quarterback because it's how you want it. Like you put them two on the same side. Who are you gonna single up?
Play inside and out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you're getting it up the gut, and you're getting it from the edge. So I think the Rams, because they seem like they're all in right now. They traded Jared Goff. They're going with Stafford. And I think they put all their chips to the middle of the table and just say, we just get this two-headed monster and just wreak havoc on offensive lines all over the league.
You know what's crazy? I hate that I actually went to you because that's one of the reasons why I say the Rams is going to be better. I had J.J. Watt going to the Rams.
Oh, sorry. I stole your take.
Yeah. Could you imagine? I mean, Aaron Donald by himself already kills an offensive line by himself.
Exactly.
But could you imagine adding a J.J. Watt who tends to get hurt because him being the main guy a lot of times, but now you put him with Aaron Donald where he doesn't be that main guy anymore. He can actually go in there and be the second guy. But could you imagine what the guys would do? Then if the Rams are able to get an Allen Robinson or another receiver to put back there Matthew Stafford, in that defense with Ramsey and Donald, man, that team will be complete. And you can't tell me there's not other than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a better complete team in the NFC.
But how would they get that done? They're above the cap like $15 million.
Right, but if you understand one thing, J.J. Watt in his career, he had already made his money. Basically, he getting out of Houston, he's saying, you know what, I want to win. So if he's looking at trying to go for the best opportunity for him, if he's willing to take a pay cut to go there, hey, that's the best spot for him to go.
It's not necessarily a pay cut that he would have to take. I think JJ would take a pay cut to go, and if he thinks that he would be winning there. But it's him. They're gonna have to give up players, man. They're gonna have to give up.
Well,
to
not necessarily.
create
They
that
can
space.
restructure. Guys can restructure their deals and
Well,
free up
yeah, I
some
mean they
cap
can
room.
restructure, but you got to knock on Aaron Donald's door and say, "Hey, we want you to restructure." You're gonna have to knock on because they already got rid of Goff. They got
Yeah,
Stafford.
Jalen Ramsey, another. They could knock on his door. He just got. He could.
I mean, yeah, they can do
Sacrifice.
Jalen. I think
Yeah.
Jalen would do it for JJ Watt. I think
Yeah.
outside of JJ Watt, Jalen would tell you to close my door.
Right. Right.
You see names like that, say, you know what? You gonna help me win? I'm willing
Yeah,
to take that.
Jalen would do it for JJ. You right?
Matthew Stafford will too. I guarantee you that as well.
Yeah, because he wants to win. He's never been in the playoffs.
That's why I left Detroit.
It would just be a lot of money to reconstruct. You know, and I don't know.
Depends on how much he's looking to get paid, though. Because,
That's
like,
also true.
you know, like my man said, he wants to win. So he, you know, he could be that guy that takes that vet minimum. You never know. He could take the veteran minimum to try to get there. I'm gonna give you all another team too to look at is the Green Bay Packers. You went to Wisconsin. You know, Aaron Rodgers has been asking for a defense for God knows how long. So that could be another one. Another one too.
I would love that. Would add to my team. All right, Jay. What, Chris? You make that look, you break the camera. Stop making that look.
Did you say my team? Well, I'm not even gonna get in this conversation. I'm not even gonna do it.
All right, Jay. What team does JJ Watt fit best with?
So, as far as personal ties, I was gonna say the Packers because he's a Wisconsin boy. He's never really left, you know, that environment. Even though he went down to Houston, he still goes back to Wisconsin in the offseason and things like that. So that tie there makes a big, strong case for the Green Bay Packers. But there's a team that all they needed was this, and I think if they would have got to there, I think they would have put up a better fight than the Kansas City Chiefs. All they needed was this.
Talk about it.
Buffalo Bills. If the Buffalo Bills was to get JJ Watt, it's wrap. Because they got the big name on the offensive side of the ball in Josh Allen. They got Stephon Diggs. Put JJ Watt over there. Now you match the star power on defense. That team is something to mess with. And that's all I'm telling you. All they needed was this. Because Kansas City was the one that was too much for them. Because I think if they get to Tampa, that's a totally different ballgame. Totally different ballgame. Their matchups are way better. And I think that their matchup don't lean towards Tampa as much as that matchup did in Kansas City.
All right. Ray, what team should we go out there and try to get JJ Watt?
That's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not have his brother play with
his brother, yeah.
Well, much coordination. What are you gonna do? You got both one on one side, the other on the other side. How are you gonna defend that? You know, you got the steel curtain. Could bring back that steel curtain montage back when they had Joe Green and all that. This could be the upcoming of the new steel curtain in Pittsburgh. That's who I think. I think that's who's going to go after more hard.
All right. Yo, Chris, we'll go with you to wrap this question up. What?
Go ahead.
What's the best fit? What's the best fit for JJ Watt? What team?
Honestly, you know, the correct answer is every team because every team could add JJ Watt depending on how much money he's asking for. But when I look at all the teams that's available, there's one team that has a lot of free agents right now. You know, and they got free agents on that side of the ball. And the guy, you know, that's leaving, I think, you know, he's going to get a big payday. So if you're looking for pace, you know, his type of production, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you need to be calling him because Shaquille Barrett's free agent. And I think Shaquille Barrett's going to want the bag. And if he wants the bag, you know, who else better to replace him with JJ Watt? You know, a guy that, you know, is a sack master, a guy that can stop the run, you know, and you don't know what's going to go on when the Ndamukong Suh. You know, if I'm the Buccaneers, looking at all the free agents you have right now, you need to make the right moves. And I think, you know, JJ Watt going to Tampa is a big move.
Hey, and Shaq Barrett already said, don't drop the boat off if it ain't full.
He want that bag.
Hey, you just got that ring, going to add to the bag now. All right, let's roll to the next topic. There's an offensive lineman for the Ravens, Baltimore Ravens, named Orlando Brown. He reportedly wants out of Baltimore. What team should be looking at Orlando Brown? It look like Jay wants this one.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle. That's the only team in the NFL that should be in the headlines every single day about this subject. They should be clawing, sending tweets, sending air packages. They should be at each coach's door. They should be doing whatever they can. You're talking about a 25, what is he, 25, 26?
Young.
Okay. 25, 26, already a cornerstone on the left side, on the blind side. And you got your cornerstone quarterback telling you, hey, really, this is what Russell Wilson, without saying, is saying, hey, this is my last year doing this. If y'all don't figure it out this year, I'm out of here. This is my last year of taking this punishment. That's what Russell's saying. So if I'm Seattle and I'm really talking about long-term Russell Wilson, there's nothing that I'm not doing to make sure Orlando Brown's in Seattle.
All right, Ray. What team needs to be going after Orlando Brown?
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Why would you curse that man like that?
Dude, he's a left tackle. He wants to play left tackle. Hey, why not? You got to have a left tackle here. They can move Cam Johnson from the left tackle right into the right guard position and take AJ McCants out. He's a so-so blocker, but he's not that good. So if you want to reshore that offensive line, you take that weakest link, AJ Cam, you put Cam Johnson there, and you take Orlando Brown at the left tackle. Taylor's could do his spot, and Shackley got his left guard spot. So the only thing we need right now is to move that left tackle, take Johnson, bring him back into the right guard position, take McCants out, and short that line right there where Orlando Brown left tackle. Because Jaguar needs an offensive lineman.
Yeah, I hear that, but there's one team out there that really needs a left tackle, and that's the New York Giants. Yeah, Saquon Barkley coming back from a serious injury. It's the Giants need to make sure they fix that offensive line where Saquon doesn't have to do so much, where he can stay banged up and stay where he's not able to play games. Because the Giants is honestly wasting this dude's career. This dude is probably one of the best running backs that we've seen in years. We have not seen a Saquon. You don't just see a Saquon Barkley just walk off the street. So, and then it also helps with Daniel Jones, a young quarterback, and we've seen that, he do have some talent, but he just needs to be in the right situation. And I don't think the Giants have put him in the right situation. Year after year after year, we always said that, they need to work on that offensive line, and they've yet to do that. So I think that's one of their biggest things that they need to work on. And, hey, if you have Orlando Brown available, that's one way to start working on it. So, yeah, I'm curious.
I like that choice.
Who needs to be looking for Orlando Brown?
Again, my JJ Watt answer. Everybody. I mean, a majority of the teams in the NFL right now could use a 25, 26-year-old left tackle. But for me, there's two teams. Well, there was three. Seattle was one. I thought they were the definite. I don't really want to repeat the answer. Two, if the Texans, end up keeping Deshaun Watson, you need to trade away whatever picks you got. Or not all, but some to go ahead and get Orlando Brown. And three, I'm looking at the Chargers. Justin Herbert, offensive rookie of the year, just had a great year. I mean, he's shown that, in my opinion, he had a top 10 quarterback season this year. When you have a young quarterback, you need to make sure you're able to protect him. You need to make sure you're able to protect that blind side. Match that young quarterback with a young left tackle in Orlando Brown. So for me, I really like the Chargers at the end. Chargers and the Seahawks would be my top two, only because I don't know what's going on with Houston right now. But I think they will also be in the mix. And don't count out the Chiefs. It's probably not going to happen. But if you don't know what's going on with Fisher or Schwartz, that 32 pick look nice for a left tackle.
All right. Penny, let's wrap this one up. What is your thoughts on that? Who should be going after Orlando Brown?
Well, I'm going to be selfish right now and say my Dallas Cowboys.
Hold on. You a Cowboy fan?
That's right.
Oh,
right.
man.
That's right.
Oh, man.
That's right.
Oh,
2 words. America's team. That's all I need to
you have the nerve to say
That's
that?
right. That's right. Can I finish my point?
Go ahead.
Then y'all can do all your hating all y'all want. So
Mute.
haters gonna hate. So Tyron Smith is on his last legs. The guy hasn't been able to stay healthy for the last few years. We need a left tackle. You know, Dak's coming off an injury, big injury. So that will be a great fit for him. You know, Zeke needs somebody that to help open up those holes. You know, that people have been talking about his lack of explosion, but I think it has more to do with the turnover in the line and injury situation with the line. So I'm gonna say my Dallas Cowboys and Jerry, you're the owner and the GM. You're doing too much, but do this, and you know we'll be okay.
The Cowboys.
Let me add. I was gonna say.
Oh
I'm
my
surprised that nobody
God.
said this. Cincinnati also was gonna be my second choice.
Hmm.
Going out
Division trading though, I don't know. I don't know about teams don't really trade in the same division. That's what
I
don't see teams trading.
It's a rough one, but bro, they out of all people
In a heartbeat, I'm trading away something. Not that first round pick, but in a heart.
No, they need to protect their merchandise. They just spent a lot on Joe. They just went all in on Joe Burrow.
I'm not going to lie
and protect him.
I'll use that first round pick on the offensive lineman and trade away maybe some future picks and get Orlando Brown, have 2 short up tackles. But again, I would that's smart, just like Justin Herbert to cheer up your young quarterback. I just don't see 2 teams trading in the same division.
I don't either. You're right.
But that's a perfect fit.
If I'm able to keep my first round pick, I'm going to receive
in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat,
gentlemen. I'm just stuck on this man. Come here and say, "I'm a Cowboys
fan." That's right. Proudly. I'm frustrated, but I'm still a proud fan. That's right.
Got you guys Thursday.
And then you have the nerve to say America's team.
That's right.
America.
And you know these are the facts.
Facts.
They're not up for debate.
The facts.
You know who you watching every year at Thanksgiving. You know that. Appointment TV. National Game of the Week. You know what it is.
If we were voting on who we watch on Thanksgiving, the Cowboys wouldn't be on every year.
Facts. They suck.
That's the haters. America speaks for it. The ratings speak for themselves.
Only the Cowboy fans call themselves the American team.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's us and the rest of the country.
I'll be honest. You haven't been representing us good in the past 25 years because y'all not doing anything spectacular. Can't call yourself America's team.
And still got more championships than the Eagles.
I knew it was coming. Next subject.
25 years and you still ain't caught up.
That's true.
Come on. What else you got? Come on.
In the past, though.
I got one last thing.
These are the facts. The facts.
I got one last thing.
Ring count is ring count.
Okay,
you got one.
Listen,
you haven't been relevant since the 90s.
Listen.
You haven't caught up. So what's your point? You got one
You're not relevant. You're not relevant. You worried about the past.
You won one ring in 20 years. One.
In the old days. You're living in the old days. You're washed up. You're just like the Jaguars now.
Listen, gentlemen, listen. Kidding. You said the rings matter, right? You let one quarterback come in here and win 7 since the last time y'all even you can't talk about Super Bowls no more. You let one man win 7 Super Bowls. That's crazy. Let's move to the next topic. You're gonna get killed in football season. I'm just letting you know that right now.
I'm ready for all the smoke. Ready for all the smoke.
All right, well, I hope you
the Cowboys.
I'm easy to find, my man.
Mm-hmm. Should the 49ers move away from Jimmy Garoppolo? I'm gonna answer the question first. Yes, and heck, when you have a quarterback that's in the Super Bowl, that even though your coach made the mistake and say, we're gonna stop running the ball, we're gonna put the ball in our quarterback and get him to win this game and make plays, he still can't make plays. Jimmy Garoppolo showed us that he's a game manager quarterback. That's who he is. He's not gonna be a quarterback. In the fourth quarter, he said, hey, give him the ball and make some plays for us. If I'm the 49ers, I'm giving up him, draft picks or whatever to try to get a Deshaun Watson to come out there to lead this team with this defense, and they can go very far. So let's go to Chris on this one. Chris, should the 49ers get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo?
At this point, you have to. You know, with the Rams making their move to get Matthew Stafford, you now have by far the worst quarterback in the division. You know, we all know how good that run game can be. You know, we all know how good the coach can scheme up plays. We know how good that defense can be. But at the end of the day, I don't see them being successful in making it out, you know, that division. Maybe sneaking into the wild card spot with a terrible quarterback. They have to get rid of him. You cannot, you know, in the best division of football, because Jay knows that's the best division of football right now. So the best division, you cannot have the worst quarterback and expect to be successful. You have to go get your franchise guy. You know, the Seahawks have their guy. The Cardinals have their guy. The Rams just say, hey, I believe in our defense enough. You know, I believe in what we have around, you know, everything else. We're traded for our guy. 49ers have to make their move. Jimmy G cannot be the answer for this team. They're going to continue to suck if they keep him as their quarterback. Simple.
All right, Jay.
See, for after you guys have gone, my answer totally changed. No, because first of all, the cost of Deshaun Watson has been driven up. It's like that AMC squeeze on stock. His stock is through the roof now. It's out of their price range. Now you look at what's available in free agency, and they're not better than a healthy Jimmy G.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah. Who's available?
I don't like Dak, but I'd take Dak over Jimmy G.
But Dak is not available technically.
Yes, he is. The Cowboys haven't showed interest in him.
Dak.
Hey, don't get me started.
Dak's rights are still owned. They haven't decided whether they're going to franchise tag him again, or they're going to go ahead and re-sign him.
What about a Carson Wentz? I'll take Carson Wentz over Jimmy Garoppolo.
I'd take Tyrod Taylor over Jimmy G.
Why would you take Carson Wentz over Jimmy Garoppolo? Let's be honest with this.
Why would I? This dude was MVP a couple years ago, Jay. What are you talking about?
Not even a couple. I'm not going to brag on Wentz. All I'm going to say is don't even take out this year. Look at last year compared to any year. Not even the MVP year. Last year when he posted better numbers than so many top quarterbacks. All I'm going to say is take that year and the good
because of the defense and the running game.
But in the Super Bowl, when he had the chance,
they put the game in his hands.
They said, we're going to put the game in your hands in the fourth quarter, Jimmy G. They put it in your hands, and you folded the game. He blew the lead. You said he went to the Super Bowl, but he threw less than 20 times getting there. He threw less than 2 games, less than 20 times.
But let's look at the teams. Let's look at those 2 teams and those 2 rosters. That offense in Philadelphia is built for their quarterback to drive those missiles. He has to go ahead and actually go out and score and drive that team down. San Francisco's not built that way. All they got to do is get within the 30. They don't even got to get in the red zone. They get into the 30. They got 3 running backs back there that they can hand the ball off to. They can pound it in.
They got some weapons though.
Huh?
Yeah.
They got some weapons. Kittle, Debo.
That's my point. That's my point. And I was going to get to that next. Then they got Kittle, who's a magician at the red zone. So if you can manage the game, if Jimmy can stay healthy enough to manage and be productive enough to get them into scoring territory, typically, that's enough.
Jay, he's shown in the Super Bowl. In this NFL, now I see what you're saying. I see where you're coming from. But in the NFL right now, you run the score, but you pass to win. Your quarterback has to be able to go on drives where you're passing the ball to be successful. In the Super Bowl, I sat there and watched and said, there's no way you blow this lead. They ran play action. Ran play action. They were killing the Chiefs, and their defense was taking over. But when they decided to switch up the game plan and say, okay, Jimmy G, let's see what you have as a quarterback, he threw like 2 for 13 at the end of the game.
But we just saw a high, powerful offense get shut down and not have a defense to keep them in the game.
I understand, but let's not act like that. Like no excuses.
That was because of their line. That was
their 2 Pro Bowl offensive linemen were hurt.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying is because their offense was so dismantled, whatever the cause was, and their defense was not up to par, they had 0 chance. San Francisco's defense is still there.
Jay.
That's true, but
at the end of the game, when you need a quarterback to go on the
Right.
ground to make that play to get that game
Jimmy
win,
G's not
They
a
don't
top
have
30.
it. They won't have it. They
So
won't have it.
in that case, I think you gotta make a trade. Like when I think of quarterbacks to win the game, Jimmy G's not even top 30 in the
But
game right now.
who is available? Who
Carson
can you
Wentz?
guys don't say Deshaun
Oh,
Watson.
no,
they're
no,
out.
no, no.
They're out the trading package portion for
Carson
Deshaun
Wentz, the Eagles are
Why? But why would they be out of the trading market for Watson?
They're
I don't
not out
believe
of
they
it.
have enough.
Oh,
I don't believe they have enough.
They have enough. They have enough.
Oh
Honestly,
yeah, I mean,
Dak, you can make a move for Dak. You can make a move for Carson. You can make a move for Watson. You still have Matt Ryan, who I take over Deshaun Watson. You got. Listen, there's quarterbacks available.
I don't think Matt Ryan's available because you would have to trade. Whoever's going to take Jimmy, or whoever San Fran's going to go after, they would have to essentially take Jimmy.
I would take Jameis over Jimmy G. If we're being
oh
honest,
stop!
I'm taking
do that.
Jameis over Jimmy G. Any day of the
You
week.
got to take care of the ball. You can't turn over the ball like that. Even though I agree.
Look at the
that-
situation he was
I
in. It
agree
wasn't
that
the same
Jimmy
as
G is
this
not
year.
a playmaker like that, but you got to take care of that ball, and you can't throw the ball to the other team and give the ball away like that. I can't take Jameis over him. And
with a better system in a year learning, with a better system in a year
But
learning,
he couldn't even beat out the tight end dude, Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill didn't win no
CJ
games
Beathard.
though. He ain't win no games though. That's
Look
all
what their
Sean
backups
Payton.
did this year, bro. Look at their backups did this year. They didn't look absolutely horrible. They don't know how to, they didn't know how to manage the game and stuff. So you have one
that speaks to the quarterback though. I mean, that speaks to the head coach. The head coach is able to carry, average quarterbacks. So like we all said, what I say with McVay, he was able to do that with Jared Goff. I'm scared to see what he's going to be able to do with Matt Stafford, quarterback that's competent enough to make these top quarterback elite throws. Matthew Stafford's a top 10 quarterback. If you give Shanahan a top 10 quarterback with this team built around him, you need somebody better than Jimmy G to win the Super Bowl. They made it last year, but they folded because of the quarterback.
I'll even take Derek Carr over Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, my everyday league.
Yeah.
Of course you would.
Derek Carr's the lead.
So, Ray, we haven't heard too much from you in this segment. What should the 49ers do with Jimmy Garoppolo?
Well, you got to look at it. Jimmy Garoppolo, in 3 years in San Francisco, he only played one complete season. Last year, he played 6 games. The year before that, he played 16. The year before that, he played 3. So, I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo, if he can stay healthy, he's a pretty decent quarterback, but he's not that top 10 or top 15 quarterback. He's probably in the top 30 maybe. But I think
he has to be. It's only 30 teams in the league.
so
I'll take backup over.
So I think what you should do is San Francisco trying to throw a little bit out there in New England's head and try to do a 3-way trade with Atlanta, bringing in Matt Ryan back over to San Francisco, sending Jimmy back to New England where he came from. And then, Atlanta can go into the draft somewhere and pick up another good quarterback.
That 4th pick.
Yo,
Got a lot of quarterbacks available.
Yo, Kenny, did you give your pick on this one or?
I didn't, but I agree. They definitely should trade Jimmy G. And if I think somebody talked about Deshaun Watson. I think with the quarterback's position, you gotta, and I'm gonna borrow a Stephen A. term, a leader of men. Like you gotta be the leader of men. And I see Jimmy G as a guy, as just a guy that's going to a filling guy or a guy that's going to just be a guy. But not going to be a leader of that team. Like you're not going to put the game in his hands and expect him to win it. And Deshaun Watson is a leader. He's been a leader since Clemson. So I would definitely see what I could do to make that happen. Carson Wentz, he's a can't get right to me. He just can't stay healthy. It is what it is. The facts are the facts. I know it hurts for you.
This year got sacked over any. He played all the games this year. Got sacked hit more than everybody else.
Hey, y'all's whole division can't stay healthy with the quarterback. So
you're right about that. Well, actually, Dak, this is the first year that Dak had an injury like that. He had been healthy to this point.
Carson didn't get hurt this year.
Not so much.
He didn't get hurt this year or his rookie year. Just saying.
Oh man, Chris, you got double
It's
heat,
gonna be
my
good.
dude.
I can't wait. I can't wait till week 1 for it, man.
Double heat, my dude.
Double
Ooh.
heat. You switching back to the Giants now? Because you was just with the Packers.
Hey, hey, Chris, you need to jump on this dude. He coming after you, not me. I'm just
Oh
seeing
yeah, I'm on your head.
I mean, he coming at me, but I can respect it because I know he's stuck with Dallas. You jumped from the Giants to the
Did you
Packers.
just hear
Now
this?
you going back to the Giants. I
Did
can
you
respect the loyal fan. I told you I don't respect
did you hear
bandwagon.
this man say he on your head? You jumped
That's
on
cool.
Oh, hey.
That's cool. I'm with him. Me and him going to see eye to eye, but I'm telling you, I don't respect you because you're a bandwagon fan. I can respect me and him going head to head because at least he's loyal to his fan base. He's going to go at it.
I'm
Cowboys
loading my fan base too. What are you talking about?
He was just rooting for the Packers. Yo, please
Man,
move on.
this guy for months have been saying that
Please move on before I lose my mind.
to our viewers out there. This man has been saying, "Wait till next Monday. I'm gonna show y'all." Okay,
I'm
Chris,
trying to save you, Freddie. I'm trying to save you. I
Exactly.
am.
Exactly. Let's move
All
to
right.
the next topic.
But on yourself.
So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won the championship this year, but what do they have to do next season to repeat? We'll go with Ray on this one. Ray, what do they have to do to repeat? my dude?
Keep all their free agents.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the same team they got right now. I mean, if you let somebody walk, you got to replace them. They can replace them because you got Tom Brady. Tom Brady can make some phone calls out there and help them out. But like I said, if they let people walk, they got to find somebody to replace. But right now, they need to keep all their free agents.
All right, Chris.
You know, Ray really hit on the head. They got a lot of free agents right now. You talking about, guys like Antonio Brown, guys like Chris Godwin, guys like Shaquille Barrett, guys like Levante David. I mean, key guys that played a pivotal role. So, when I'm looking at the Buccaneers, in my opinion, looking at it towards the end of the season, like all rosters even healthy, I think they had the best roster in the NFL. But when you're losing so many guys, one, you're going to have to try to, re-sign. But, when players win championships, they want to go cash out. So you got to, count that in. So you have to make sure in free agency you sign the right key guys, for the right value. Keep the same, group intact and add the right people because you don't want to go into the year with a worse roster you had last year when you see a lot of teams improving. So if I'm them, if you're losing the guy, you got to hurry up and replace. Hurry up and replace. Make sure you keep a solid wide receiver core around Tom Brady because he's not a guy that can just play with a whole bunch of nobodies and win anymore. And make sure that defense is top 5 in the NFL. And also, I look to add some corners. If you can, if you have enough money, I look to add, an above-average corner to that unit. They got away with a lot of holds in the playoffs. That's neither here nor there. But, yeah, I said my piece.
All right, cool. Yo, Kenny, what's your thought? What does the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have to do to repeat?
I'm gonna say 2 things. One, resign Leonard Fournette.
Facts.
Resign him. He got free from purgatory. I live in Jacksonville, so I just like messing with the Jaguars fans. Yes, resign him. And then the second thing is they got to have a plan B. Chris was talking about. They got to have a plan because it's over the years, Super Bowl teams have never been able to keep their full team intact.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to have a plan B, and they've got to be able to adjust for defections. Because, like y'all said, these dudes, with the NFL, with the non-guaranteed contracts, dudes is going for bags, and they taking bags whenever they could get them. So they're going to have a plan B and have somebody that's going to be able to step up and fill some voids because they're going to have some voids. It's unavoidable. So that's going to be the key to see how they can fill those voids.
Cool. Jay, let's wrap us up on this one, my brother.
Well, you guys are hitting it on the head on the nail on the head, but to be honest, they're not going to sign all of them.
That's true.
There's 7 free agents that we're pretty much referring to were all 1-year deals.
Yep.
They were all guys that were scraps at one point. Not to say that they don't perform, but they were scraps at one point. Fournette, Godwin, Scoop or Sukop, their kicker. You know what I mean? Then you got Antonio Brown,
Mm-hmm.
Rob Gronkowski. So all these guys were all 1-year deals, and the Tampa Bay knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now what it is do these guys want to go for a repeat? If they do, they'll all be signed. And because they'll make it work money-wise within themselves. I mean, really, honestly, you need to go talk to Mike Evans.
He said he's there for the restructure.
Yep, he sure did. You need to go talk to him because his restructure will help you get Godwin. And then you need to go talk to a couple other people, man, because Barrett deserves his money.
He definitely deserves the bread. But I got a question.
David deserves his money.
I got a question for you. They got Brown available and Godwin available. Who do you think they choose? Because to me, I don't see them keeping both. I think it's one or the other. So which one would y'all choose?
Godwin.
Yep, the younger version.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have it.
Now listen, this is easy. All they need to do is make sure they keep Tom Brady happy. Because if Tom Brady happy, guess what he's going to do? He's going to pick up that phone. He's going to say, hey, man, take that discount. Come on over here. And let's win the Super Bowl.
Get a ring. Come on, get a ring with me. Yep.
That's what he's going to do. I wouldn't be surprised somebody else go over there because that's what Brady's going to do. Brady's going to make sure, he have weapons around him. He's going to make sure that team is set.
Yeah, because he tried and with the Patriots, and he showed he's not that QB no more. So he needs all the receivers around him available.
You keep Antonio Brown, man.
Over Godwin?
Yeah, you have to.
Well, he's probably better
Mike Evans is your future.
Yeah.
Mike Evans is your future. But yeah, you keep Antonio Brown. And in the Super Bowl, Brown was more effective and he scored. And we've all been talking about scoring and executing in the final, and he scored in the biggest game. So the only people that scored in that game receiving wise was Gronkowski and Antonio Brown, the vets. I say you keep Antonio Brown.
I think it might be Brown because I feel like his contract's going to be cheaper. If they want to pay Godwin, I'm all for it. Hey, put on for Delaware. He went to Middletown. One of my high school rivals. That's fine. But I think he's going to want the bag, deservingly so.
And they're really winning.
He burned his bag in Oakland, so he's definitely going to try to make up that money.
And Tampa's in super duper win now mode.
So let me ask you a question. Brown, he's on his team. This year he showed that he can come in and act right and play right. Do you guys
for a full season? We don't know that.
One, it wasn't for a full season. Two, he didn't have great production. It wasn't his fault because he got adjusted late, but he didn't have great production to demand a full bag. Now he can get some of the bag, but he's not going to demand a Kenny Golladay, Allen Robinson type of bag.
I wouldn't give Antonio Brown the bag right out. I would put everything
give him some incentives.
Yeah, definitely some incentives.
But I mean, when Antonio Brown gets a full training camp, he could, he might return back to his full self like he was in Pittsburgh.
95% of the teams, 95% of teams in NFL, AB goes to their full training camp. He's the number one wide receiver.
Right.
95% of the teams.
Arizona will gladly.
Oh yeah.
Oh, y'all need him. Y'all need him.
Green Bay will gladly take you, Mr. Brown. Gladly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like
the Giants will gladly take him.
Yes.
He won't go.
You said the Green Bay Giants.
The Green Bay Giants. Like I heard the same thing, right?
Last week.
I mean, like Jay said his team, and then you said two teams. That's all I'm saying.
For the record, who is your team? I guess that's the question right now.
The Green Bay Giants.
Let me answer. He asked me, so I speak. I'm a Green Bay Packers fan.
On Mondays.
But I enjoy watching the New York Giants.
So when the season first started, it was the opposite. It wasn't a Giants fan, but I enjoyed watching Aaron Rodgers. That's how it started.
We're gonna start calling you Sunday Ticket because you.
Yes, listen.
Everybody. Yeah.
Red zone.
All right, Jim. Let's keep it moving. All right. Did the Miami Dolphins make the wrong choice drafting Tua as their quarterback? We'll go with Kenny on this one.
I think it's too soon. He didn't even get, he didn't get a full season. He showed some flashes. I think he has the arm strength. He has the accuracy. Of course, you have to give him an opportunity to really, see if he's a franchise guy. But having said that, if you got the opportunity to trade for Deshaun Watson, I think you have to do it. But if you're not going to do that, then I would say to give him, and honestly, I would say even get rid of what's my man's name, Fitzmagic, because he's always going to be looking over his shoulder. You got to get like a vet in there that's a true, because to me, Fitzmagic is a 1A. He's the type of guy you bring him in for 3 or 4 games and he catches, lightning in a bottle. So with a young guy, you need that veteran guy like the, of course I'm gonna go back to a Jason Garrett type where you know that he's not a threat to your job, but he has that veteran, moxie or that veteran savvy to help you during the game. So yeah, I would give him at least a year or 2 to give him a chance to see if he really has it. But again, having said that, if Deshaun is available, you probably got to make that deal.
Gotcha. Yo, Jay, did they make a mistake?
Yeah. Yeah. Miami's needed a franchise quarterback for far too long to take that type of chance, that type of risk. You knew the type of injury he had. It was similar to a Bo Jackson injury. I know times have changed with medical and everything, but it's still it's an injury we don't have a lot of research on of how they perform afterwards. Outside of his injury, the man has issues mechanically. I've talked to you guys on this show before about, on the network before about I did not like his arm strength coming out of college. I didn't like his arm strength. I don't like the velocity of the football when it leaves his hand. I don't like there's so many different things that I think that are not NFL caliber compared to a lot of these other starters that were available for them to go out and get. I mean, look at Justin Herbert, man. He's killing the game. So I think that I think that it was a bad choice. You don't waste that. You don't waste the franchise pick on a guy that's a possibility.
All right, Chris.
When they drafted him, I expected a little bit more from Tua, but I think he was just put in a bad situation this year. But if the Dolphins, how they're looking at it, is they're seeing all these quarterbacks prosper and saying, "Man, I passed up on Herbert. He did that with Day. Could do that over here. Jalen Hurts, in the second round, he did. Oh, Jordan Love, he could be. So it's like I think the Dolphins are looking at and they're questioning everything right now, especially with Deshaun Watson being available. They're questioning everything. Me personally, I thought it was a good trade. A good draft pick. I think if you give him time, let time, see how good he is. I think add another weapon in there. More time in the system, more time being a pro. We expect rookies to come out and be all pros. I think we're putting a lot of pressure on rookies. You don't have to always come out and be an all-pro your first year. You have to show some type of improvement, which I need to see next year for me to be confident in saying that they didn't mess up. But to come out and say, "Oh, every rookie that gets drafted top 5 has to be an all-pro," I think it's been a lot of faith in rookies right now. I think it was a good draft pick, but this season, how he plays is really going to tell if it was worth it or not.
All right. Ray, did they pick the wrong quarterback?
In my opinion, no. NFL stands for not for long. But in this case, for Tua, they didn't give him a chance. I mean, he only played 10 games coming off the hip injury in Alabama. But look at the 10 games he played. He won 7, lost 3 of the 10. He completed over 64.1% of his passes. He has thrown over 1,814 yards for the Miami Dolphins. He had 11 touchdowns and throw only 5 interceptions in those 10 games. Tua was sacked 20 times in those 10 games for 136 yards. You got to give Tua some time. You got to give him some line protection. You might even add some more weapons to that wide receiver core. Give him another good running back, they can hand off and give him and keeping him in short and distance instead of having them in long and where the other defense could tee off on them. I mean, the Dolphins wasn't set up for him at the time. I mean, take some players, some players are NFL ready coming out of college, and some of them takes time to develop. And if the Dolphins don't want to develop them, then that's the Dolphins' problem. I mean, because his mechanics can be corrected. I mean, look at Phillip Rivers. You know, his mechanics was all jacked up and still are jacked up, but he's completing his passes. So if you get somebody who can develop him and get him another veteran and presence in there in the locker room, show him how to be a leader and stuff like that in the NFL, I think the Dolphins could save this pick.
All right, gentlemen. Let's move to the last topic for the NFL. Then we get into the NBA side. We try to do our rank them 1 through 3. Chris, show the guys how it's done. Number 1, we have a Honey Badger. Number 2, we have Jamal Adams. And number 3, we have Minkah Fitzpatrick. Rank them, Chris.
Keep it short and sweet. You know, give me Minkah 1, Honey Badger 2, Jamal Adams 3. All these guys are great. Love them all. That's just my ranking.
All right, Jay, rank them 1 through 3.
Swap the 1 and 2. Very simple. Honey Badger's he's a gorilla, man.
Respect. I love Honey Badger, by the way. Been a fan since college.
And he's a gorilla. He's a beast. I like Fitzpatrick too. I just like his toughness.
All right. Yeah, Ray, give us 1 through 3.
I mean, this was kind of hard for me because I like them all. But
Me
right now, I'll give Honey Badger number 1 because he's got a Super Bowl ring.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what sets that apart between those two. That's why I picked him at number 1. Jamal Adams and Minkah Fitzpatrick could be either one. But I went a little bit ahead of Jamal Adams because he had a little bit more time than Minkah Fitzpatrick. But if you come back in the next 5 years and ask me about this all could change.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Kenny, rank them 1 through 3.
Actually, I'm going to go a little different. I'm going to go Minkah 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's the best playmaker and the best ball hawk out of the 3. And I'm going to go Jamal Adams because his game wrecking ability, with his blitz game. And I'm actually going to put Honey Badger 3. I thought he made a lot of mental mistakes in the Super Bowl. He had some big penalties that hurt them in the Super Bowl. And I think he's, out of the 3, he's the oldest. So, and of course, in the NFL, he's taking those hits and with his size, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with.
All right, I got Fitzpatrick number 1, Honey Badger number 2, and Jamal Adams number 3. Gentlemen, let's head to the NBA part of our show. Like I said, we start off every show with the hot take. Let's give Jay the first one. Jay, give us an NBA hot take.
I say the NBA hot take I have is that the Lakers are about to go on a slide over the next 3 weeks. I looked at the next 3 weeks. They got 12 games. I gave them 9 of them that are possible losses that they're going to have to deal with. I didn't say they're going to lose 9 games. I said that 9 of them are going to be some close, tough games. You had 3 gimmies, 1 against Minnesota, 1 against Sacramento, and 1 against Washington. After that is when it starts to get, it starts to look pretty bad for you guys. You play Phoenix. I think you start off against Utah or Denver. I know you play both of them in that stretch. You play Portland. You play. I think you play Chris's boys again. So, dude, it's a rough time. And look, I wasn't even trying to go at your head the last 2 weeks. I was telling you, Anthony Davis was not looking like himself. He wasn't out there doing. And I said this before I got on this network. I said this when they first got Anthony Davis. I said this could be 2 things. This could be a good thing for Anthony Davis, where he thrives and he takes over the throne when LeBron leaves, because I don't think LeBron wants to end his career here as much as he said that. And this might be really good for him long term, or this could be bad for him. He can get complacent and he can turn into a shell of himself like Kevin Love did. So I'm telling you, bro, you better call your boy. Pull out your next tail, tweet or chirp him. Something.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get my hot take. I was gonna go last, but Jay made me do this. Okay, Ladies and gentlemen, the Lakers are not in trouble. I've written that down, as you said, that we can lose the next 9 games. You know, I'm gonna keep track of that. You know, I'm gonna remind you who the Lakers are. I'm gonna remind you. You know, there's no replacing Anthony Davis. What he do for the Lakers? Let's get that straight. Nobody on this Lakers team can do what Anthony Davis do. Okay, let's just get that straight.
Agreed.
But this team is deep. Okay. I've seen a Kyle Kuzma over the last 3 to 5 games come out of nowhere playing good. He's been playing good, okay? He's been rebounding. He's been hustling on defense. He's been knocking down his 3-point shot, okay? We do have a Marquise Morris on the team who can bring that dog mindset if you give him playing time. Okay, we do have the dude by the name of LeBron James who's running for MVP, who's been playing like crazy, by the way. We do have Dennis Schroeder who can get his bucket anytime he wants. Okay, we do have Montrezl Harrell, who's been a dog coming off the bench. Okay, so I'm not worried. We're not losing no 9 games straight. Lakers are still okay. But you know what, Jay? The difference between my team and your team, the difference between my team and Chris's team, we don't care about regular season. You know why? Regular season does not matter to the Lakers. We're not going to be judged in the regular season. We're judged in the postseason. So my hot take is Kyle Kuzma coming here. Why is he going, averaging 22 points a game, and still show us why that he can still be that kid when he came in his rookie year. We ain't scared. We not worried. This team is too deep, and you better watch out for THT. There's more playing time for him as well.
Real quick before y'all go, I didn't say they were gonna lose 9 straight.
I heard what you said. He said they have 9 games. They have a possibility of losing. That's how it is in NBA.
I have it written down. I'm gonna remind Jay of them 9 games. Okay, I'm gonna remind them. All right, Kenny.
All
right, Kenny, go ahead.
Yes, sir. So I'm going with the addition of Derrick Rose being reunited with Tibbs is going to cause the New York Knicks to sneak into the Eastern Conference playoffs. Yeah, I think the Knicks are really building something. They're making, they're creating the foundation. Tibbs got those guys playing hard. My man IQ quickly. Now he's got a veteran mentor. Yeah, the kid has a great feel for the game, man. So, and I think Bowen Barrett wants to be great. RJ Barrett wants to be great. Julius Randle's playing at an all-star level. So I think Derrick Rose is that playmaker at point guard that the Knicks have been needing for the last couple of years because, man, I can't think of my man's name that was with the Magic that was starting. Elfrid Payton. He's really a backup. So to me, yeah, I think bringing Derrick Rose, him being reunited with Tibbs, the Knicks go on a run and sneak into that eighth spot in the playoffs.
All right, Ray, give us a hot take.
My hot take, I'm going with the Utah Jazz. They're going to start slipping here probably in the next few games. Right now, they're looking good against the 76ers. The score right now is 97-86 right now in the third quarter. But the next few games, you got the 76ers here tonight. Then they play the Clippers back-to-back, the 17th of February and 19th of February. They get a break with the Hornets coming in on the 22nd. And then the big game will be the Lakers on the 24th of February to try to keep up their Western Conference lead. But like I said, they're coming down the stretch. Utah has always been slipping down the stretch. So I think it's going to be I think Utah is going to slip here.
All right, Chris Brown, give us a hot take.
Man, I try not. You know me. I rarely try to talk about my own teams. I try not to be a homer. But my hot take, honestly, with the reports I saw, I barely talked about the Sixers since the season started. I barely talked about them, but I got to talk about them today. I mean, I honestly think the Sixers are a move away from really taking full control of the East. Right now, we're the first seed.
I'm sorry.
That's it. I'll say a couple of things. One, nobody in the East can stop Joel Embiid. Nobody. The Celtics have 10 centers. He pooped all of them. The Nets have no interior defense. And everybody's been clowning Ben Simmons, but I've been saying, listen, stay patient. He's just trying to find out his mode. That's why he was averaging, 8+ assists. He wasn't being aggressive. The past 11, 12 games, dude's been dominated. Right now, Embiid's not playing. In the third quarter, he has 34 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, 12 for 18. Ben Simmons was picking and choosing when he was being dominant. And for the past 12 games,
that's really the problem.
Yeah, I know, but for the past 12, 13 games, he's been fully aggressive. This team needs a bench. Daryl Morey said, Daryl Morey is the king of the GM. Daryl Morey said, if you have 5% chance winning an NBA championship, you go all in. We see him with the Rockets go all in before. When I look at this team, we need a bench. I see this George Hill, come on. Rudy Gay, come on. You add those two key pieces, and we're winning the East because I like what the Nets have, I do. But no defense, I'm sorry, you're not winning like that. The Bucks are trash this year, and the Celtics are super trash this year. I think it's between the Nets and the Sixers. If you ask me to put money on them, I think both teams are going to make moves by the deadline, but it don't matter what center they bringing in. They're not stopping the beat.
So
Yeah,
if
just
the
to
Nets
add-
figure out how to get – oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no apology needed. No, but just to add with what you were saying, though, the Knicks are actually sitting in 6th seed.
Oh, the Knicks
They're a
ball.
half
They
game
balling.
back from 4th and 3 games back from 3rd.
Oh, so we already in the playoffs.
Not
Oh,
only
the
are they going to
Knicks
sneak
open.
in,
Yeah, they just beat the Hawks tonight. Randall
not
44.
only are they going to sneak in, Indiana's going to start falling a little bit. They're going to start fluttering a little bit, if you ask me. So the Knicks might be in the top 5, man.
Love it.
Look out for the Heat, though. They're going to creep back up in there. The Heat going
Hey.
to creep back up in there.
Let me talk real quick about Ben Simmons. Like you said that he's pick and chooses when to be dominant. You know I wasn't gonna let that slide, right?
I mean, it is what it is. He wasn't being aggressive.
You're either a dominant player or you're not.
Preach.
You know how many players everybody calling dominant, but they pick and choose. I mean, I seen Jason Tatum have 6 points yesterday. Nobody brought it up. I seen Anthony Davis have 13 points the other day. Nobody brought it up. For the past month and a half, Simmons been showing what kind of player he is. The defense, nobody touching Simmons in the first place.
We can't say that because we know he's been hobbled, and now they just shut him down. So
Exactly.
you got to try again with that one.
Exactly.
Simmons been hobbled. He's been shut down multiple times this season. He just had surgery less than 7 months ago.
Who did?
Ben Simmons. Why do you think he missed the playoffs?
We talking about now, Chris.
Okay, and this season he's been having to miss games because of knee injuries.
He ain't been dominant his whole career. Like until he addresses his issues, because the game slows down in the playoffs. You got to be able to play in the half court.
In the game. And a half court, he cooking the third best defense right now.
Regular season, yeah, cooking everybody.
I seen a lot of regular season heroes that everybody loves right now that don't show up in the playoffs.
Who? Bigger than Ben Simmons?
Tatum.
What?
Tatum shows up.
What you talk about?
What you talking about, Chris?
Yeah.
Money last year against the Heat.
You sounding like me now, delusional.
But Boston didn't show up against the Heat.
That man had 30-something in the I think he was 30 in the playoffs.
Oh, Murray.
Whoa.
He showed up that one series, and I was loving him. He not showing up this season.
Did you say Kyle Lowry?
I would give you that.
But you can say Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry did not have the potential. Like
I got a personal beef with Kyle Lowry.
He's never no JJ. Hold on. You can't say Kyle Lowry because Kyle Lowry does not have the potential like Ben Simmons. We talking about a guy who has the potential.
Potential?
Dominant.
Yes, people said Ben Simmons supposed to be the next LeBron.
Wait, you shouldn't even use the word potential in Kyle Lowry. He's too old for that.
Facts.
You should say he's reached his ceiling, and his ceiling is pretty darn high.
But his potential never been Ben Simmons, Jay.
Yeah, we talking about dominance. Kyle Lowry ain't never been a dominant player. We talking about a dominant player. And you said Ben Simmons is a dominant player. That's the point of contention.
I think y'all need to look at Kyle Lowry, man. I have this conversation.
I respect him now, but up until the past couple of years, he been letting a lot of people down in the playoffs.
I just had this conversation with my boy last year when they were going into the playoffs. Kyle Lowry is very consistent in the playoffs.
No. Before they win a championship, my guy, I love him. Before they win a championship, he was a bum in the playoffs.
Oh, really? Go look at those stats. I'll tell you right now, without me pulling them up, I guarantee you over the last four playoffs,
I see him lose
14
games.
points a game and at least 6.5 assists, 7. At least.
From All-Star?
And that's every season for 4 straight years. He was one of the most consistent point guards in the East.
How many points?
I think it's 14 and 6.5.
You gotta get more. You're gonna be also. You gotta give me more than 14
He's
points.
not, but that's not what he was. He was never the lead scorer.
So Jay, that's what we
He was
saying
never
that
the
he
lead
cannot
scorer
be
on the
Ben
team.
Simmons.
Yeah.
He's not Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
He never
it's not
got Ben
the same
Simmons level.
category. Yeah, it's not the same category.
No, he's consistent. Ben Simmons takes breaks. That's what we were referring to.
Well, I was talking about the dominant part where he said he
Exactly.
dominates at times. So like you
But
can't-
Kyle Lowry would go on tears for a series and just tear the game apart in the playoffs.
I'm
That's
not going.
the year that we
For
won the
the
championship.
championship, I see him lose them games against the Wizards in the playoffs.
struggled.
I see him
Cleveland, he struggled.
struggle.
in those-
And
yeah.
I love Lowry. I love him. I seen him struggle. But real quick about Ben Simmons, he what year 4, year 5? You know, I've been saying what's his name? Brandon Ingram was drafted. He had KD potential. He was struggling his first couple years. Year 4, year 5, he took off. These dudes, 23, people don't really hit their prime until 26, 27. They take
How
that
much longer
next
does he need, Chris? How much
You don't
longer?
want to call him dominant. That's what caused this whole debate right there.
Okay, I'll take the most dominant defender. I'll take a guy that, okay, Joel Embiid's the best player, but we're not going to be nothing without Ben Simmons. I'll take that.
How much longer though, Chris?
He's showing it right now.
Yeah,
The
They
best
all had
defender in
jump
the
Hold up.
game.
shots.
Hold up.
They all had
Simmons-
jump
Hold up.
shots. Man, it's too one-dimensional.
Ben Simmons right now has got 34 points, 26 minutes, has 5 rebounds, and 8 assists against the Utah Jazz as of right now.
Can he do this next game?
Hey, listen,
That's not
hold on.
He's been doing it 13 straight games. This year, he took a big step.
Joel Embiid is not even playing in this game.
So
But can he do it when Joel Embiid play?
He's been doing it.
He been doing it.
This is what I'm saying. I said in the beginning of the year, he was picking and choosing. He was getting it's a whole brand new team, brand new starting 5, brand new system. He was the one that took a step back. For the past 14 games, he's been more aggressive. He's been taking that next step. We already know what he is on the defensive end. He's the best defender in the game, and it's not close. I know he shuts down every single superstar. It's not close. He's the best defender in the game.
He's not the best.
He's the best defender in the game.
well, that's Homer. He's a homer, so we're gonna let him have it.
He's not. He shut down Dame and Devin Booker back-to-back games. Tell me a defender that does that. I'm asking right now. Tell me a defender
He's
that
not
does
the
that.
best defender in the game.
Who's a better defender than him?
I said Kawhi Leonard's a better defender than Ben Simmons.
Where was that
And
against?
Gobert hasn't he been the back-to-back defensive player of the year?
Abadiah.
Bam, yeah, I like Bam too.
I like Bam as the best
Giannis.
defensive center. Yo, Giannis overrated. He runs. He ran
I
from
always
KD.
said Jimmy Butler's better of a defender than Ben Simmons.
Who?
I say Jimmy
Right.
Butler's better.
That's why that was another
Devin
reason.
Booker's right
Another
there.
team where Jimmy Butler was like, yo, I can't do it with this guy. He don't got enough dog in him.
He couldn't do it because of the coach. I don't know what report you was reading. That coach changed up everything in the playoffs. Jimmy Butler said out his own words he wanted out because of the head coach. Out his own mouth, he said he wanted out because of the head coach. And then the whole organization chose coach over player. We saw how that turned out.
Yep.
Well, the time will tell. Because listen, the playoffs is a differentiator.
That's
So
facts.
if he's a dominant player, then he's going to dominate in the playoffs. Who cares about the record?
You're right.
Let's
You're
keep
right. With a better head coach, I see us doing that because Brent Brown hit the worst coach in the league with the best team. That works.
All right,
You don't know how to get none of his players good.
All right, Jim, let's keep moving. Have everybody gave their hot take yet? All right, cool. Let's roll. So, Anthony Davis is dealing with the calf strain, and the same leg that he took. He had the little Achilles situation. The doctor, they reported that they'll sit him out for next 1 or 2 weeks and possibly 3 weeks. How long should he take off? Not play. I ask the question first since I'm the Lakers fan on the set. Anthony Davis should sit out as long as he needs to sit out. If it's for him to sit out for a month, sit out for a month. If you got to sit out for 2 months, sit out for 2 months. Make sure this Achilles is strong. Make sure it's right. Make sure it's healthy. Because like I said before, regular season does not matter to the Lakers at all. Zero. Because you cannot judge us in regular season. It does not matter in the regular season. Playoffs is where it matters with us. As long as LeBron and Anthony Davis is healthy come playoffs, that's all that matters. We're not the Phoenix Suns that have to prove themselves. We're not the Philadelphia 76ers who have to prove themselves. We're not the Clippers who have to prove themselves. We're not the Dallas Mavericks who have to prove themselves. We're the Lakers. We just won the championship, baby. Long as it's making it to the playoffs with Anthony Davis and LeBron James healthy, that's all that matters. All that matters. So if he needs to take off 2 months, he needs to take it off. He needs to sit down and need to heal that up. Because like I said, regular season does not matter at all. Zero. Right. How long should he sit?
My opinion, to mid-March, so he can get back into some game shape and stuff like that before the NBA playoffs. If you're going to have him sitting out to the NBA playoff starts, he won't be in game shape. His Achilles might be strong, but he won't be in game shape to help out. Because you've seen even Anthony Davis sometimes come into camp overweight, for his size and his playing. So, but with Achilles, you got to be watch out too. He's got Achilles strain. If he rubs that Achilles, his season's over. Lakers could be in trouble. So if you want him to be at a strong point, mid-March.
No. If he's missed the rest of the season, we're done. Our season's over. No questions asked. Like we'll go to the playoffs, but we're not winning no championship without Anthony Davis. Chris, how long should he sit?
First of all, he should never have been playing. Once the injury first came up, you don't, test something like that. I've been an Anthony Davis fan since his high school days, but in Kentucky, ever since he came into the league, he's been injury prone. That's just the truth. Last year he was injury prone, just played through it. This year he has an injury that, is severe. I think you sit him out until he's 150%. Okay, yeah, 100%. Sit out longer. Make sure he's still in game shape. But you don't want to test it. The Lakers, they're good, but without AD, they're not winning the championship. It's just the same thing. Everyone with the clan, what I'm saying. But when you got a dynamic duo, you know who the best player is, but you're not going to be able to go with that other person. We know what LeBron is. We've seen him carry teams. He's not going to be able to win a championship without Anthony Davis. So they need to make sure he's at 150%. So, okay, he's available in 4 weeks or 3 weeks. So sit out an extra week or two. Make sure he's 150%. So when he comes on the court, he can dominate. This year he had a shaky start, but we know what Anthony Davis is. He needs to have rhythm before the playoffs start.
All right. Kenny, how long should he sit?
I agree with Ray. I would give him till maybe a week or two towards the end of the regular season, just so he can knock the rust off and get his legs under him. I think, and you mentioned it, you talked about it too, that the Lakers are fortunate that they have some depth at that position between Markieff Morris and Harrell. They got some guys that could step in and fill that void. And the great thing of having LeBron James is he makes the game easier for everybody. So I think that they can find a way to kind of keep the boat afloat and still maintain a top 5 seed, because I think they just really need a top 5. I should say a top 4 seed, so they can have home court advantage in a round in the playoffs. So yeah, I agree with Ray. Maybe a week or two before the regular season, just to make sure that he's as healthy as possible, so they can make another playoff run.
Hey, and as I'm gonna say this: while Anthony Davis is gone, LeBron gonna show everybody why he should be the MVP. Just watch; he's gonna show y'all why he's the MVP this year. I see you shaking your head, but I don't care. I shake your head.
I'm not shaking my head at you.
Jay, how long should he sit?
I'm shaking my head at you, fam. You don't deserve that.
Well, you pretty much already heard what I had to say during my hot take. But the Lakers' next 12 games, man, it's gonna be rough. Like I said, you got the Timberwolves, the Nets, the Heat, the Wizards, the Jazz, the Warriors, the Blazers, the Lakers. The Suns and the Kings. So you don't want to leave them out too long. We don't want them to come back directly when the playoffs start. But you don't want to bring them back too early neither, because you don't want them to go in tight and get hurt again. So I don't know, man. This is a rough one. It's Anthony Davis, though, so it's a long-term situation for the Lakers. It's not just about this year, so I still would leave him out as long as he needs it.
Jay, stop counting these games. But like I said, regular season does not matter to us. All
You
that
keep
matters is
saying
the
that.
playoff.
You keep saying that. Let y'all
It
finish
does.
in fifth.
Hold
Let
on,
y'all
Freddie,
finish
I gotta
in
stop.
fifth.
I understand regular seedings don't matter, but the regular season matters because that's where you develop rhythm. That's where you develop chemistry. I know with seeds you end in don't matter, but you tell LeBron James the regular season doesn't matter. He goes into the playoffs, his team has no chemistry. Then what? You
And
don't win a
you don't want
championship
to
because
go in.
last year, you know how important the Lakers took the regular season? They didn't care about winning games, but they cared about developing chemistry. That's what every single player said. So don't say the whole regular season
It
doesn't
does
matter.
not, it does not matter because at the end of the day,
Why did the players say the regular season mattered? Because they needed to build a bond and build chemistry. Why did the players lying?
at the end of the day, it does not matter because
Let me ask you this.
LeBron
So
James.
why did LeBron James say the regular season mattered? Why did Jerry Dudley say the regular season mattered to build chemistry and bond?
At the end of the day, this regular
If
season
the players say it matters, it matters. The players that want to
At the
change
end
history.
of the day, make sure his guys are ready. He's telling AD, take as much time as you off, my dude. I'm holding the ship down. When AD come back, the chemistry between him and Anthony Davis is still going to be there. So I don't have to worry about no regular season. Regular season does not matter to the Lakers because guess what? You can't judge us in the regular season, only in postseason, okay? I mean, that's the only way you could judge us. The only way.
So if it don't matter, so did they sit out every single game? They develop no chemistry. They're gonna go into the playoff. Not everybody on the team, all the new additions, the Dennis Schroeders, the Montrezl Harrell. If regular season don't matter, they can sit out every game and just hop in the playoffs and dominate, right? Because that's how you sound right now. You realize that, right?
Chris, you want to be that simple, ladies and gentlemen. You see what I mean? Make him run. He don't want to show his stuff on the screen.
You just said, first of all, I had to find my laptop charger. I don't run from a bum like you. I don't run from a bum like you. I had to find my laptop charger.
I make you run up the screen.
You can't regular season don't matter, but why did all the players on the team talk about how important regular season was? Not the winning the game.
The main thing is
in a bond. You can't say that doesn't matter to win a championship. If the players are on the team, they're playing on the team. If they said the regular season mattered to build
last year,
no, because you don't make no sense.
See this? I make them run. You see that? I make them run.
Yo, I'm right here, you bum. That's every single year matters. They added so many new additions. You can't tell me the regular season don't matter.
LeBron gonna make sure they're ready. LeBron will make sure they're ready.
So they all can sit out then, because even if they every single game they play,
who said about all them sitting out? We said about one player sitting out.
You said the regular season doesn't matter. Okay, so let them. So I hope they all sit out then, and let's see how much it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know how you change one player to all of them sitting out.
You said the regular season doesn't matter for the Lakers.
I'm just saying you cannot judge. I'm saying you cannot judge the Lakers in the regular season. Only way you can judge the Lakers is what they do in the playoffs. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm
agreeing.
That's like I'm just saying we won the championship, so you can't judge us. Oh, what are they gonna do in the regular season? No. If we lose the first round of the playoffs, then you can judge us. But you can't judge us in the regular season. No.
So let me ask you this. Are you okay with AD sitting out the rest of the regular season and just coming back in the playoffs?
If it takes for him to make sure his Achilles is healthy, yes. Because we've seen what happened with Kevin Durant. It was that calf strain, and then guess what? The Warriors brought him back out there too quick, and it ended up tearing his Achilles. I don't want him to tear his Achilles. So if it prevents that from happening, yes. But
here's my second part to the question. Do you think that the Lakers will still play at as high a level as they did?
Like I said, there's no replacing Anthony Davis. What Anthony Davis do, nobody can do. But with the depth of this team, when you have a Kyle Kuzma who can get buckets, who's shown ability this year to play good on the defensive end, who's a guy who's been attacking the boards, I believe that this team can still be aggressive on the defensive end, and still LeBron is like,
but here's the problem.
LeBron James. Can we give him the respect? Like he's still that man.
No, but here's the problem though. Because I get you're saying, we won the championship, respect us and play out. Whoa. This is 1 year, okay? This is 1 year y'all did this, so we ain't gonna respect it yet. I need some.
You need to.
Hold on. I don't need to
No,
know.
no.
Y'all need to prove that we should respect you like a dynasty. You ain't no dynasty yet. You won one championship. Okay.
That's a
I
fact.
agree.
Secondly, if the Golden State Warriors mess around and come in and finish at 5th, and
They
you
do that,
guys
Steve
mess
Kerr
around
deserves
and
Coach of the
finish
Year.
at 4th, and you guys are playing, or vice versa. Let's just make it worst case scenario for you. You guys finish at 5th, and the Warriors mess around and get hot because that's the one person in the West that you do not want to get hot this year going into the playoffs. I'm gonna tell you
What are
that.
you talking about, Jay? You talking about something
The
realistic.
reason why I'm saying it. This is the
Now the
reason why
worst
I'm saying
case
it.
scenario is they don't get home court
This is the reason why
advantage.
I'm saying it. Listen to what I'm saying. Because you're saying that it doesn't, you guys have no care in the world about where you finish. But I'm telling you, the West is stacked. And where you guys finish is going to be a big ordeal going into these playoffs. It isn't like this bubble we just left. It isn't like that. Okay. Anthony Davis is a big piece of your team in the playoffs that I don't think that you're really factoring in.
I do know that, Jay. I'm just saying we do not want to do the as Achilles.
No, it's beyond the Anthony Davis name. It's beyond the Anthony Davis name. It's about having him working with these parts.
No, it's about him being healthy, Jay.
Yeah, health is one thing, but
no, that's the main thing.
That is somebody like a Jameis Wiseman, somebody out there like that. You guys need that on that block, and you need him to be able to move and work with Marc Gasol and have that down, because that is a whole new squad. Y'all don't know where y'all are gonna be on the court. Y'all don't know that. So I think it is a big deal, regardless of what you say. Because you mess around and finish in 5th, and you have no home court advantage throughout the playoffs.
Can we say this that the Lakers this year? No, you're not gonna get away with this, Jay. Can we say that this year the Lakers are better on the road than they're at home? So I don't think if they go the road matters.
Well,
it's not gonna matter.
We haven't had a lot of fans in there. So
that's the because the fans are not there. The home court.
But how do we know the fans gonna be that in?
We don't. This is predicting that things would be a little normal, and home court advantage would actually mean something.
Yeah, I don't see the Warriors. I just don't think they have enough talent.
I don't see them being a top 5 team.
I wasn't saying they were. I'm saying that's the dangerous thing about falling down and being in a situation where you get a team like that's young with talent and mess around and get hot.
Yeah, I would see
Denver
or even Portland.
Yeah.
Or, maybe even Phoenix making a move over those guys than the Warriors.
Well, yeah, those are Utah, Phoenix. Those would be a round 2 opponent for them. But I'm talking about a first round.
Right now, if the playoffs ends today, if the regular season ends today, Lakers will play the Denver Nuggets right now.
Correct.
It's not easy.
That's a battle.
And right there, the Denver Nuggets could give them trouble without Anthony Davis. Or if Anthony Davis is not healthy enough to play, or if Anthony Davis come in and rust, that team could give you a big problem.
I'll say this though. Healthy Lakers are the team to beat, and it's not close.
Not even close.
But like all teams, most of the top teams this year are new. So the seedings may not matter as much, but they're using these games to develop chemistries, find out what rotations work the best. That's what regular season is for new teams. That's what we're seeing right now with the Lakers. That's why they have so many different fourth quarter units and stuff, because they're finding out what rotation works. Once they find that out.
I would say that about the Nets too. They're still trying to figure out the combinations that work. And we saw how they cracked Golden State on Saturday. And, when those 3 guys are, and it seems like they're figuring out their roles. Kyrie said that Harden's going to be the one. So, you got to pick your poison. With those 3 guys on the floor at the same time, somebody's going to be singled up, and then God help you.
That's 3 of the top 8 offensive players in the NBA.
They just got to get timely stops. They don't have to be locked up. They just got to get timely stops. That's what Golden State did. They weren't locking nobody up when they was on their run. They got timely stops.
They had clamps though. You had Iggy, Drake Prime,
bench playing 15, 20 minutes.
They still need guys, but they were hot. The Nets need something like that, though.
All right, gentlemen, we ran out of time. I'm gonna just jump around through these topics and see which ones we can hit before time hits. Why are the Pelicans underperforming? They have all this talent. They have
They're not
Lonzo,
underperforming.
Zion, Ingram, they have a lot of talent. Steven Adams. Why are they underperforming, Kenny?
They're young. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yep.
Brandon Ingram is coming to his own. Zion is, the second year in the league. They're trying to figure out what they're going to do with Lonzo Ball. They got Eric Bledsoe kind of came in there and took over that point guard role. And again, the same situation where they're trying to figure out their chemistry, trying to figure out where guys like the ball. Eric Bledsoe got to figure out where these guys like the ball. How they're going to utilize Zion, in the post or, playing them at the 4, playing them at the 5. And, Stan Van Gundy is kind of tinkering and figuring out which combinations work. So I think that's more of the reason why we're seeing what we're seeing from the Pelicans.
All right, Ray, what's going on with the Pelicans?
Pelicans, like he says, a young team, but they're starting 5 can play with anybody in the NBA. But when you get to the bench, that's the effective part right there. They have no scoring coming off the bench. They have no playmakers coming off the bench. And they didn't fix that in the offseason. That was a big need for them to fix it off. Them was get more depth at the wing, more shooting, and a little bit more playmaking coming off that bench. And that's what has affected them so far. I mean, they are 11 wins, 15 losses. They're 6-10 in conference play, 7-5 at home, 4-10 on the road. They're not a good road team. They're over 500 at home, under 500 on the road. You got to win some of the road games. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games, and they're on a 3-game losing streak right now. So you're looking at this. I come around looking at their means. 2 guys scoring for them: Brandon Ingram with 26 points in 38 minutes, and Zion Williams with 26 points in 36 minutes against Detroit. Look at J.J. Redick, supposed to be that high shooter coming off the bench. He only scored 4 points, 2 rebounds, and 8 minutes of play. So right now they're liking bench playing. They're starting 5 playing too much minutes. And they don't have no playmakers or shooters coming off the bench.
All right, Chris.
The roster is bad for one. I'm going to keep it kind of simple and short. The roster is bad. Eric Bledsoe and Lonzo Ball is a terrible backcourt. It may work 1 every 7 games. But that's a disgusting backcourt to watch. Me personally, I'm not a big fan of Eric Bledsoe because he sucks in the playoffs. Pretty easy. He gets overhyped in the regular season. He's trash in the playoffs. I think you have something there. If you let Lonzo really be the main ball handler, let him have the ball and have some control, I think you have a good guard. But other than that, it's Brandon Ingram, Zion, and you pray that somebody else gives you something. That's why. Van Gundy's a good coach. He might not be the coach for the future because he got a lot of guys that can do a lot of things with their special talents that they might not be able to do with him, but they have a terrible roster. And they're never going to unlock their full potential unless you put a shooting big next to Zion.
All right, Jay.
Hype. This team, first of all, we got to give them a little bit of a crutch. They lost Drew Holiday and Anthony Davis in 2 seasons. Secondly, they probably have 2 of the biggest hyped up players to be coming out of the draft on the same team. And then also, they got a little, they did get better, but the West got way better. It was, they gave them $1 raise, but inflation should have been $2. You know what I mean? So they're not. It's not a horrible roster.
It's a horrible roster.
It really is.
I think they're building for the future though.
I know. That's why I'm not mad that they're losing.
So they're building something.
But honestly, minus the Anthony Davis subtraction, but they lost Drew Holiday. They picked up Eric Bledsoe, Steven Adams.
He's all right.
It's
not a horrible roster.
But Eric Bledsoe is trash.
Eric Bledsoe is not trash. He came in and he could with today's NBA, he can get to the basket. He can guard. He's not the greatest shooter.
Everybody keeps telling Ben Simmons to shoot. Eric Bledsoe can't shoot.
But right, nobody's ever said that Eric Bledsoe was an all-star talent. So that's apples to oranges. But like I said, they're building something. They're building a culture. You know, Van Gundy's trying to build a culture, and they got
3
those
years
draft
for
picks. They
playoffs.
got those draft picks coming from the Bucks still. So I think we need to give them a couple of years.
I say
and
3.
see
I
what
don't know
happens.
about y'all. I say 3
Yeah, 2
playoffs.
or 3. Yeah,
I say 3 playoffs.
because all those guys, you know, Zion and Brandon Ingram will be in their prime, and if they could, because you know JJ Redick's on his last legs, so
I
if
like
they can
Lonzo
find a
Hart,
shooter,
too.
if they get, I think Lonzo Ball is not long for New Orleans. I think they're going to try to find a trade partner for him.
I like Josh Hart, though, as that 3-and-D guy.
Yeah, I like him off the bench. They need the other guard from Virginia Tech. His name is but he's a good player too. So I just think they need a couple more pieces. They need some shooters to space the floor for Zion to be able to do his thing. And once
They
they do
just
that,
need to. I think they need to decide if they're in win now mode or if they're.
Are they not? They're there for future for sure. You
And if they're
trade
in
away
for
Drew Holiday,
future,
your future.
if they're in for future, you get rid of Lonzo, you liquidate Steven if you can, you keep Brandon Ingram, you keep Zion, you keep Josh Hart, you keep Jackson Hayes, and everybody else is gone.
All right, gentlemen, let's move to the next topic. Last 2 topics of the night. What NBA contender are you not sold on? You know, I'm just interested in listening to what this dude had to say because he never surprised me. I'm gonna go with Chris Brown on this. Chris, what NBA contender are you surprised? You know, maybe no. Let me rephrase the question. What NBA contender are you not sold on so far this season, Chris?
You know, I'll be honest. You know, I know they had a little, covert, things that hit them, but I'm not really sold on the Boston Celtics right now. I'm really not sold on the Boston Celtics. Like, I don't understand why you sign Tristan Thompson and keep Daniel Theis. I think they need a lot more shooting on their team. When I look at them, they need more. Like, okay, Kemba's good, but is he going to show up in the playoffs when you need him? You got to ask yourself that. I think Brown and Tatum duo is disgusting. But outside of that, what consistency do you really have? When you look at that bench, what consistency do you really have? I think they need to make some moves. I would make a move for Drummond, because you have so many big men, but they all play the same, and they're all inconsistent. I like the young Robert Williams, but, he barely gets minutes because you have Theis, who's can't stop nobody, so what really matters? You got, Tristan Thompson, who's a good veteran. You got so many guys that do the same things and not at above average level. I'm not sold on them. I think they made the wrong roster move. They had a chance to really be the top team, a super team, but they missed the opportunity. So, me personally, I'm not, the Celtics are always going to be the Celtics. They're going to fight hard. But this year, I think they took a step back and everybody in the East took a step forward.
All righty, Jay.
I'm not gonna dig too far into them this time around because I did this similar thing last week in my hot take. But the Utah Jazz, this was my hot take. I don't believe in them. I went through their roster, their schedule last week, and they just have had a weak schedule. They're opportunists, and they hopped on their opportunities. So I think that their standing is inflated at the moment. They should be like the 5th seed.
All right, Chris. Not Chris. I'm sorry. Kenny.
I'm not sold on the Clippers.
Preach.
Yeah, I'm not sold on the Clippers. Well, you can say that because you're a Lakers fan, but I think they missed an opportunity to get a playmaker, a point guard all season. I think that was their Achilles heel last year. No disrespect to Pat Beverly, but to me, he's a backup. Energy guy off the bench, not a guy that's going to get you easy shots. I think they struggle, to get. They don't have that playmaker guy to get in the paint and get, kick to PG, kick to Kawhi Leonard, get them open jump shots. And I think they did not address that. And because of that, it's going to be the same thing in the postseason. It's going to be ISO, and, Kawhi's going to try to ISO and get to his spot. Paul George is going to try to ISO and do their thing. And it's just going to be struggle city again. So I'm not sold on the Clippers.
I know this is not going to happen, but me personally, I think the best guard fit for them would be Kyle Lowry. It's tough to make that happen. Yeah. But, I'd probably give up Blue Will for him.
I thought they should have went after Rondo.
We all did.
Yeah, I thought they should have.
They needed Zach LaVine or something, man.
Nah, they don't need no. They need a play. They don't need another guy that's going to ISO.
Do a little playmaking as well as scoring, so that would be interesting. But yeah,
they need a super athletic, jump out the gym type of guy.
I just think they need somebody that can run the team.
Yeah, that's
like, you're not gonna put guys in position.
That shouldn't be Kawhi's job.
Down on a ball screen and get into the paint and get guys layups.
But I think you touched on why I picked Zach though. He can do a little of all of that, and then he can jump out the gym and catch those backdoor double teams, passes off.
I feel you, but to me, Zach more of a scorer than playmaker to me though.
Exactly.
Like no, Zach more of a scorer than playmaker to me.
Look where he's at.
Yeah,
you don't know what he's capable.
But he's always been like that. I'm not saying he can't play make. I'm saying he's more of a two guard than a true guy. Because Kawhi Leonard could do that. Kawhi Leonard could set up the offense, but that's not him. Paul George could set up the offense, but that's not him. I think Zach LaVine can do that, but I think Zach LaVine is too talented of a scorer to take a step back. Like James Harden.
I don't think he would have to. I think that to be honest with you guys, Kawhi Leonard would be preferred. He would prefer to be the third scorer and score when he had to in certain.
No, he won't. No, he won't.
Yes, he would. No. Kawhi is a machine, man. He doesn't have to get the ball to score. Kawhi Leonard is a machine. He'll put up 20 and not like Klay Thompson did with the dribble.
I don't know,
but he'll put up 20 without having the primary dribbles.
Jay, he wants to be the guy.
No, Kawhi Leonard wants to be the man.
Be the guy. He's the face of the franchise. So
he's the man, but he doesn't need to be the top scorer in every game. He doesn't need to be. He'll take.
I'm not letting you get with that, Jay. Like if somebody came out
more.
If somebody LeBron said, you know what, I'm not going to shoot as much. I'm just going to dictate. People are going to criticize him. Same thing for Kawhi. He needs to step up and be the man.
Just Mr. Wide Open. Okay. I'm sorry. Let me go on mute.
But Kawhi has never been
watching the game.
Man, just Mr. Wide Open layup. Are you kidding
LeBron
me?
James has never been in a situation where the other player on his team is better scorer than him.
Kyrie. I'm sorry. LeBron's underrated.
Kyrie wasn't there yet. He wasn't there yet.
What Kyrie were you watching?
Kyrie was there. But he wasn't there yet. He wasn't totally there to elevate it above LeBron. LeBron was still at that time superior than Kyrie.
Yeah, but Kyrie was the closer. Kyrie was the closer.
Exactly.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. That doesn't make him better.
I didn't say he was better.
There's not going to be 20 players that could be better than him.
I said he wasn't there yet, but he was closing games.
There's not going to be 20 players that's going to be better than LeBron on this team, Jay. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Y'all understand what you mean by saying he wasn't there yet. That's what I'm trying to
understand. So what point were you making?
Still a bucket getter. He's still a bucket getter.
What point were you making by reiterating what I said? I know that there's not going to be too many players that are going to be better than LeBron James on the team.
So what are you talking about?
What I was saying about Kawhi Leonard is he has a player that's better scorer than him on his team.
Who?
Paul George is a better scorer than Kawhi Leonard.
I don't know.
I'm on the side where I say if you look at pure talent, not now what they do on the court is differently. But if you asking me what player would I take pure off talent, I'm taking Paul George. Everything.
To score the basketball?
Everything.
All around.
I'm taking Paul George. But Kawhi Leonard doesn't more.
But Kawhi Leonard is a better player on the floor than.
That's Kawhi to me.
That's facts.
Nah. Well, see, but it's a different thing. If you want one bucket, I'm picking Kawhi. If I need to score the basketball repeatedly over and over again, I'm picking Paul George.
See, I don't know about that. I think it's close. I mean, I see Kawhi hit 4 straight mid ranges, and
but Kawhi Leonard is what I mean by that.
Kawhi's efficient.
Yeah,
yes, Kawhi's efficient, but
Kawhi's consistent too.
Yeah, to me, Paul George is the jack of all trades.
Playoffs.
Yeah, in terms of scoring, like I think Paul George is a jack of all trades. Like he could do whatever you need him to do at any point in time. He could facilitate. He could drive. He can score. He could play D. But in terms of Kawhi, like Kawhi is just a bucket, man. Like my man Chris said, he could get to his spot at any time and rise up and hit that mid range, anytime at any point in time.
And that's why I meant that's what I was getting at earlier. Kawhi does not need to be the first option on the team. He is okay with being the third option on the play and just scoring. Because if you get the ball to him, it doesn't matter. If the play breaks down and there's 10 seconds left and you swing the ball to Kawhi Leonard, he's going to score.
I see your point there. Yeah.
He's going to score the basketball.
He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to initiate the offense to be able to score.
At all.
I got you.
I don't think he should be doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Anyway. So he's okay with coming down the court and saying, "I'm not. This possession is not about me," and still somehow getting a score out of it. He's okay with that. So I think Zach LaVine with his talents and Paul George with his capabilities met with the levelness of Kawhi Leonard.
Well, Jay, your fantasy would not ever exist. Your fantasy would not ever exist. You had to get rid of Paul George to get Zach LaVine.
That's like, how are we gonna make that deal?
Zach LaVine, he's one of the top young guards. His asking price is
his contract is up too. So like, yeah.
All right, Ray. Let's get Ray on this one. Ray, what team has been a disappointing so far? Like you're not sold on?
The Milwaukee Bucks.
yes.
The Milwaukee Bucks have only got one superstar on the team, and the rest of them are like role players built in. So they need to add some more playmakers on this team. I mean, look at the game. All right, I'm going to take you back. Look at the game against Oklahoma Thunder where they lost. They lost 114-109. Giannis had 24 points, 36 minutes. Middleton had 23 points. He played 35. Brook Lopez, center. He only had 2 points. He played 20 minutes in that game. And then he had like three other players with 14, 15, 17, and 21. They don't have a bench. That's the first thing. They don't have a bench to keep up the runs and stuff like that. They can have a lead in the game, and when it comes in the fourth quarter, the five players are getting tired because the bench is not relieving them any depth. I mean, Giannis in this game went to the bench, sat on the bench for probably about 4 minutes total in the whole game. He got tired at the end. That's why they lost the game, because they had the lead in this game, and they lost the game right at the end.
All right.
Milwaukee Bucks have been a disappointment for me.
All right, let me go ahead and give my disappointment. Well, I'm a team I'm not sold on. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. I'm not sold on the Brooklyn Nets. Everybody's on their bandwagon. And
watch your mouth.
I'm not sold on them for a lot of reasons. You gave up a lot for James Harden. You have no depth at all. I knew you could see the trade deadline and buy up, but guess what? That's not what they had at first. Okay, at first they had a pretty solid second unit team. They could be a starting five, by the way. And then number two, this is the best offensive team we've seen. Best. They can score anybody. You're not stopping Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving. But they play no defense. That's a problem. You don't play no defense. That's the problem. You're not going to win without playing defense. And then let's just go ahead and say this. I mean, yes, everything looks good now. Don't you when you buy a new car, when you drive it, don't it drive good in the beginning? But guess what? Eventually it's gonna hit a bumpy road and things gonna start going haywire. I work at a dealership, I know. Kyrie Irving did not want to be a second fiddle behind LeBron James.
Okay, I gotta stop you there.
No,
Please.
I gotta
now he's with two other guys. What makes us think he want to be a third fiddle?
Okay.
What makes us think that?
Okay, look. Full disclosure. Kyrie Irving is family. So I'm biased.
I'm biased too.
Right there. Secondly, the guy does not have a problem. He already said, we already talked about, he already told Harden that you be the point guard. You be the point guard, I'll score. With their three IQs, those three guys are such smart basketball players that they will figure out a way to coexist. And like I said earlier, all they have to do is get timely stops. They don't have to lock teams down. All they got to do is get timely stops. You got DeAndre Jordan back there in the front line. And Kevin Durant plays D. He played D in Golden State. So it's just once they figure out
right now.
Yeah. So like it's not like they don't ain't even James Harden It's effort. When they decided
Yeah.
to lock in, like what was the game? What was the game where Kyrie was defended like a madman? It was like a week or so ago.
Against
and
the
it was
Pacers.
on TNT. It was on TNT. I can't remember the team they was playing against, but they wanted that game bad. So once the playoffs, once the stakes start rising, you'll see them rising to the occasion.
People need to leave Kyrie alone, man.
Hold on. I agree with that too.
They need to leave Kyrie alone. Kyrie,
why
is the
leave him alone?
point guard in the NBA.
Jeff Green just had a top 5 dunk this year. You're going to see he just
solid. That's a solid.
No, but they need to leave Kyrie alone.
That's facts.
He does what he needs to do to win basketball games. When he was in Boston, they wouldn't get off of him. He was scoring like that.
And what's Boston doing since he left? Everybody said Kyrie was the problem. Now what?
No,
they didn't get better. Kemba Walker wasn't up there.
Saying everybody tried to blame Kyrie, saying he was the cancer in the locker room.
Listen. No, y'all don't want to hold him accountable. I'm gonna hold him accountable. When he went missing in action a few weeks ago, nobody wanted to hold him accountable. How do we know he's not gonna do the same thing when it's close to the playoffs? There's reports that this dude don't want to nobody.
Abstract art paintings in your head that he went missing somewhere.
He did.
I already talked about this. I already said this. He talked to the person he wanted and felt comfortable with talking to.
Who's that?
The message.
Who's that? Jay, who's that?
Most likely.
Why does it matter to you?
So let me ask you a question, Jay. Let me ask you a question, Jay.
Anyways,
no. Heck no. Let me ask you a question. You work, so you tell your buddy, hey man, I'm not coming to work tomorrow. You think that's gonna be good enough for your job? No,
Let me ask
personal time off. Personal time off.
I got it.
He reached out to the coach.
That was not the reports that he reached out to the coach.
I'm telling you.
Steve Nash said he didn't know where he was at neither.
Because he ain't answering, he check his phone. He texted the man.
Freddie. If I go to Circle K and that Circle K clerk didn't come to work on time that morning, and I got there and that Circle K clerk was working, that means his manager decided it was okay. So I'm done. And I'm the customer. I don't care. You're the customer, bro. You shouldn't care.
But guess what? As a teammate, that's a problem. As a teammate, that's a problem, Jay.
They supported him. KD said they supported him. So
exactly. He's not playing. He cannot build chemistry.
Hey,
he missed like 4 or 5 games. He missed 4 or 5 games. He's back.
How do we know he's not going to do that again?
We know that
it was all right for AD to miss games and they ain't gonna miss no chemistry. Why not? Why want the next?
Guess what? Because guess what? LeBron and AD been there. This is a whole new team. You have AD who missed the whole year because of dude's injury.
Dude, you took one stick of gum out.
I'm just saying. Guess what? Kyrie's mind is just all mixed up. This dude thinks
ever since he's came back, he's been perfectly fine. You keep talking about this dude mind. Nobody had a problem with Dennis Rodman to get time off. Everybody loved it. They tweeted, "Oh my God, look at Dennis Rodman."
Like I told you, about a new car and everything's rolling nice, but down the road when things get bumpy, how do we know his mind can handle that?
Because he got support
on the court. He always produces. You never had a question about when he's on the court.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But how do we know he's going to be the third fiddle? How do we know that?
It said James Harden's the playmaker. James
Harden now, Chris. Right, I'm talking about down the line.
It could take
Let me say one thing.
He doesn't want to be a playmaker.
Let me say one thing, Freddie. I just want you to know, because this topic, I see your vein in your forehead popping out. You screaming at this topic does not.
I'm not screaming.
No,
you always scream.
This one thing that you keep screaming. How do we know? How do we know?
How do you know?
I haven't seen it.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you something.
I haven't seen it
every day, and you don't know. So stop trying to worry about what he's doing. Because
I haven't seen it,
and we don't know.
How have we haven't seen it?
We know when he's on the court what he's going to do.
That's what we know.
Do we know that?
Guess what? That's what else I know.
Because you guys have been on him. The Kyrie haters, it's like y'all.
I'm not a Kyrie hater. I like Kyrie. He's a great baller. I've seen this when he's trying to get out of Cleveland to play for LeBron. He was taking fiddle.
Don't backpedal yet.
No,
Don't backpedal yet.
no, hold on.
I'm not backpedaling. I'm front-pedaling.
He knew LeBron was leaving, so he got out of there because before
That's not
LeBron
why.
left him hanging.
That is not why.
telling
No,
you.
that is not why.
That's insider information. I can tell. Listen,
That's not why.
listen.
Bro, I'm telling you what I
keep
know.
talking like
I'm
you
trying to
inside
help you.
Kyrie's camp, Freddie. You
Listen.
talking like you
trying to
was
tell
running
you.
that man. You
Let
should
him
say
drop
how
his
Tell you
knowledge.
what I
you
know.
know.
He ran because he didn't want to be the second fiddle behind LeBron James. He wanted to be
Let him drop
Superman.
his knowledge.
Hold up.
Okay, so
I'm down.
here's some more full disclosure. My uncle is Rod Strickland. Okay, so that's how Kyrie's family. All right, so I'm not making these things up. I'm not, pontificating. I'm telling you what I know. He knew LeBron was out of there, and LeBron was going to leave him hanging, and he was going to be in the same situation when he first got there, playing with a bunch of guys that wasn't going to be competitive. So he beat him to the punch because he was not going to let him de-weight him.
Okay,
He's not-
Ken, let me ask you a question.
And that makes more sense of why LeBron was kind of sour. That makes more sense.
So let me ask you a question, Kenny.
Sure.
Why did Kyrie come out and say that he apologized to LeBron for saying that?
Because when they butted heads, he realized that as a leader, he could have been a better teammate. So when he tried to lead, he saw the issues that he had with his teammates, and he realized that he was that guy.
Called growing up,
That's
becoming
why
a
he
man. He
apologized
seen some
to
stuff
the
that he wanted to say.
Exactly. So how do we know he's not going to be okay with it now?
Okay, see, back to this.
Hold on.
Hold on.
You keep saying,
Hold
yo,
on.
Freddie, how do we know
Wait.
about your Lakers? How do we know anything? Nothing's
Oh,
so certain.
Yeah.
We don't.
I'm just saying what I've seen, that this dude is going to be
From
okay.
what I've seen, I see a team lose to the Nuggets. So how do we know they can beat them in the playoffs? Stop going off. How do we know?
Well, Chris,
how do we
we
know?
seen that Anthony Davis didn't play the second half, so that's why they lost to the Nuggets, okay? I mean, come on, you
Oh
watch
my God.
basketball.
You and your excuses
talking about how
for
do
your
we
little,
know, like-
your giant, your Green Bay Giants. And your,
I thought we was in the basketball part. Where are you bringing football in
How
here?
do we know? You don't know anything.
No.
How do we know?
So
You
I'm
don't
going
know.
off what I see on what I see was causing this team a
You see
problem.
them
They
cracking
played
people
different
when
Anthony
they
ways.
Davis
all
is not going to get top 10 player this year. How do we know he's going to bounce back? How do we know?
Anyways, look.
And
The
then
one
they-
thing we know, and the only thing that matters, is that when Kyrie's
He's a
on the court,
bucket.
he's a baller, and his
He's a
team is
bucket.
behind him.
We agree.
That's
He's
the
a
only
great
thing that
player.
matters.
He's a top
Whatever
three.
it
And his organization supports him. So that's
That's
it all.
it.
That's the only thing that
That's
matters.
it.
Are
So
we
that's
sure?
all we know. His
Have they
organization
been people
Have you-
for him
have
right
you-
That's
now?
not true because they said no, Chris, you're not going to say
They would have
that.
traded him. They would have if they didn't support him. They
They didn't want Kyrie Irving. They said the only way they think Kyrie is if KD come with them.
No.
Blasphemy.
This is reported.
Blasphemy.
Adrian Wojnarowski reported that.
They would have traded him if they didn't want that
Kyrie
man.
signed first.
Exactly.
Adrian Wojnarowski wants.
Kyrie
Adrian Wojnarowski reported that.
You wrote that on toilet paper.
Adrian Wojnarowski reported that. It said
Show me the reports there.
Kyrie signed
Brooklyn
first.
Nets do not want Kyrie. They wanted KD.
So
So
Kyrie
the only reason why he's coming is because of Kyrie.
But Freddie,
signed first.
it don't make sense.
Yeah, Kyrie
How come
signed
it
It don't
make
make
sense?
chronological
They would've
time. The
traded that man if
timeline
they
don't
didn't
make
want him.
sense.
No, they would not have. No, they would not
What?
trade him. Because
So then
KD's good.
why when he went on his when he went on his sabbatical, why didn't they send him out of town then?
Exactly.
Because that's KD's dude. Why
So
would
you think
trade
everything's
KD?
about KD?
Huh?
So you think everything's about KD?
Heck yeah. KD run that.
Chronologically, it don't make sense.
Kevin Durant. Why do you think James Harden there? Not
I
because
don't
of
care. Answer
James
this.
Kevin Durant.
No.
Hold up. You get
Stop.
hold up.
We
Hold
need
up.
logic.
Hold up. You're getting so mad over
Yeah, right.
KD
I'm not
and
mad at
Kyrie
all.
Irving. Hold up. You're getting
It doesn't
mad.
make no sense.
I'm not bad.
This
Not
is-
making any sense.
Now LeBron does the same thing that KD does, and you don't get mad about LeBron.
No. Ray, he
It's
asked
an excuse.
you
Hold
who
up.
runs it.
LeBron
I say Kevin
hold up.
Durant. It's what
LeBron
y'all.
is the
Hold on.
assistant GM for every team that he's on.
LeBron
There's
got
nothing
rid of
wrong
yeah,
with that.
look,
You're there. If
There's
LeBron
nothing
says
wrong with that.
you're gone.
Your best player should build that team.
Same thing.
There's nothing wrong with that. I never seen nothing wrong with that.
Hey, Freddie. What I was getting at earlier before you you just jumped in with your high
Got emotional,
voice
got
again. it's not that you're yelling like you're screaming. It's that you're over talking so no one can get their situation out. You keep repeating the same one phrase over and over. How do we know? You won't know because you won't let nobody tell you how we know.
Well, how do you know, Jay?
Don't ask me that again. Just be quiet.
You know what?
How do you know
I'm gonna
that?
let Ray tell you first because he was trying to tell you how he knew before now.
I'm gonna tell you how we figure this out. Because every time we talk about the Brooklyn Nets, you get upset because you know why? Brooklyn Nets is your kryptonite to your Lakers team. And that's the fact. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
Mute yourself.
James Harden. He's averaging 11.6 assists a game. He used to be a ball hogger. He's done turned the league over.
What rank is that, Ray? What rank
Number
is that?
one.
Number one.
Number one.
So you're gonna tell me that James Harden changed his way around from going to being a ball hogger to being a playmaker? Because I'm gonna tell you why. Steve Nash had turned him into a playmaker. He has
He was leading the league in this.
He's already giving you double digits.
Hold on. Then you got Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, who goes to the basket, who can bring out the defense.
And he knows that a healthy KD is LeBron's kryptonite.
Hold on. Kevin Durant is averaging 29 points a game.
Woo.
Kyrie Irving is averaging 27.6 a game.
Woo.
And you got James Harden averaging 23.0 a game. And then he's got 11 assists. Kyrie Irving is averaging 5.8 assists. And then KD's averaging 5.3 assists.
So where do you get to?
Am I getting at? They changing their offense around. They are now getting competitive to where they are now knowing where the holes are, how they get into chemistry, and that's why the regular seasons are important.
What he's trying to say is
Kyrie Irving got 37 in the third quarter. Don't
there's
question.
a fuse lit, and there's some gunpowder at the end of the fuse, bro.
Yeah.
This is a bomb of dynamite.
Guess what? You need more than that, though. You need more than that.
Freddie, stop. You're giving me this stuff. Just listen for a second. You need more than that. Because you don't have more than that.
Who don't?
There it
The
is.
Lakers.
Lakers.
They don't have
Come on, hold on. No, JJ. No. No, you're wrong. You're wrong about that.
No, I'm not holding on yet because I haven't even got it out. You about to get on something. You don't even know what I'm about to say.
What's that?
I'm trying. So the whole point is that you guys don't even have more than that. You guys were together longer.
Who's your third superstar? That's the question. Who's your third superstar?
They even got Joe Harris. They can stick in
Who's
here
your third
on a
superstar?
bad day.
And don't say Kuzma because Kuzma's inconsistent.
Guess what? Listen. I let y'all chirp a little bit too long, okay? The Lakers ain't afraid of no Brooklyn Nets.
You're not afraid.
Oh, please. You don't even think about the Brooklyn Nets.
Who's the third star?
We don't need a third guy.
Who's the third star?
We don't need a third guy. You know why?
You
know why? Because guess what? We don't want to gut our team up like y'all did. You don't want to gut the team like Brooklyn did. Guess what? The Lakers can play deep. The Lakers can outscore Brooklyn. The Lakers can outscore Brooklyn. Nobody can outscore Brooklyn. But guess what? The Lakers can win on their defense.
How many Laker players are on the roster in New Orleans?
Hey, he's talking all around the fact that he does not have a third superstar.
No.
We got multiple guys. We have multiple guys.
No.
We have multiple guys. We have multiple guys. If you make this Lakers team against that Brooklyn, the Lakers are better.
Give me one.
Nobody on that team guard Anthony Davis. Nobody.
Nobody can guard KD.
I'd rather put LeBron and KD go equal with each other out.
Okay.
Who's guarding
LeBron and KD go equal themselves out.
Just answer the question.
Who's guarding Harden?
Who's the third superstar?
Who's guarding KCP? You seen last year we did the Harden. You seen last year what we did the Harden.
Who's guarding Kyrie?
You seen last year what we did the
Kyrie. Who's guarding Kyrie?
There's no third superstar.
Who guarding AD?
That is established.
Who guarding AD? Nobody.
DeAndre Jordan.
Oh, please.
No, hey. DeAndre Jordan.
You don't believe in your sleep.
KD on him a little, some too.
But the point is, Anthony Davis is going to score 27. So is Kevin Durant.
He's going for 50.
LeBron James is going to score 27.
Now he's jumping off the bridge.
So is James Harden. And then Kyrie Irving is going to score 27.
Gentlemen, let's go. We want to say this topic for another day. Let's keep it moving. We passed the 2-hour mark. Let's do our last topic. We can go all night with that topic.
No doubt.
We can go all night with that, man. Let's do our last ranking for the night, and then and we'll go from there. So let's rank them: Zach LaVine, Devin Booker, and Jason Tatum. Hey, Ray, rank them.
I got Jason Tatum number 1. I got Booker number 2, and Zach LaVine number 3.
Jay, rank them.
Book, Tate, Zach.
All right. Kenny, give me a ranking, my brother.
I got Ray. I'm the same as Ray. Tatum, Tatum, Booker, then LaVine.
All right, Chris.
Booker, Tatum, Zach.
It's my man.
Man, I hate agreeing with Chris Brown. I had Booker.
Booker got to do it in the playoffs. I haven't seen him on that big stage yet. That's why I got to put Tatum over him.
I can respect that.
I can't wait till we do, man, because that freaking bubble was amazing.
Yeah. I was hoping that they made the playoffs.
This our year.
All right, gentlemen, that's another episode of Real Talk. Want to thank Kenny for coming on and bringing the fire. Kenny, it was glad to have you. You know, even though you started challenging me, but I love the fact that you went at Chris Brown. You know, I love to see that. And I need
he trying to recruit. Freddie over here trying to recruit people to go over at Chris Brown and just man.
He need people
to
don't have to.
So it's automatic, you know.
Even though you're a Cowboy fan, you know, which we ain't gonna let that
I'm
slip.
a Knicks fan, so we could go at it on football and basketball. So it's all good.
There you go. Hey, Ray, it was having you back on again. Thank you for coming back on. You bringing the fire, Jay. Glad you bringing your personality. You know what you bring to the show. Chris, thank you for just being Chris Brown, and you know the fans love you for some reason. I guess you bring the real talk, but thanks.
I'll be honest, Freddie. Nobody's thanking you for being here. I'm just gonna be
don't worry. I got fans texting right now. Say, get him.
Don't make me name that one fan. We don't know what it is.
It's more than one. It's about 6 or 7 of them.
Y'all are funny, man.
I'll tell y'all for real.
But yeah, you guys know how we do in Real Talk. We'll give you guys like 30 seconds to say your last thing, what you want to say. Jay, tell the fan, say what you got to say to the fans for 30 seconds.
I'm glad I got 30 seconds of uninterrupted, no Freddie. Because, man, I cannot end tonight without saying he has had most off-the-wall, ring around the rosy, Red Rover, come all over, not answering questions, beating around all the bushes in the city tonight. You guys, I'm glad that somebody else witnessed this, and we got it on recording.
Your 30 seconds, though.
Some of these takes. Yeah, you got to. But yeah, no, it was a wonderful show. Can't wait for the next one.
All right, Ray, give us 30 seconds.
And this show was awesome tonight. Watching all these battles going back and forth, observing some of these, and coming in, trying to get my 2 cents worth in when somebody over talking me. You know, so, you know,
names.
Freddie, Freddie, you got to cool down a little bit here, man. You got to get somebody to get some rebuttals in. If you go over talking to them and getting rebuttals, that means you're scared of them. So, that's how I look at it.
He don't want those LA Lakers rebuttals.
Shots fired.
He can't.
All right, Kenny, give us your last 30 seconds, my brother.
Well, first, let me say thank you so much for having me on. This was so much fun. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen down the stretch with the NBA. And, of course, what's going to happen with these trades with the NFL, with Deshaun Watson, what the final verdict's going to be with that. So, we just got to stay tuned, and we'll be ready to react and be ready to give our hot takes and be ready to go at Freddie for his non-answers.
All right, Chris Brown.
Nah, it was a good show. I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of gems being dropped. I just want to say I know everybody, disrespects my guy Ben Simmons, but for once, just give him a little bit of credit for the 42, points, 12 assists, 9 rebounds game he had. I know he has to do it more often, but everybody else gets credit. Everybody else gets credit for one game. To give him his credit for his game.
Hey, did he have a 3-point shot with that at all? And that's not even a crack at him.
12 for 18 from the field, no threes.
Wow, that's a good game.
Plenty of strengths.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry, 15 for 26 from the field. Apologies.
All right. Hey, my last 30 seconds. Want to thank everybody for tuning in, watching the show. real talk get heated all the time. It's nothing new. Just, hey, you want to do no better than with these guys on here. Even though we go back and forth, it's real talk. So, hey, that's what we bring to you guys. Until next time, you can catch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. Did I miss anything, Chris?
TikTok coming soon.
TikTok coming soon. All right, you guys. Be safe out there. You guys have a wonderful night. You'll catch us back on this upcoming Thursday. Peace out.
Peace.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.